Fairly, what it do? It's your girl Tootie, and I am back. Jack, shout out to y'all, man. I love y'all, the whole squad, man. I appreciate y'all for coming back and tuning in. Now, listen, man, we finna go over here to Shank Rock TV. You feel me? If you're not subscribed, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Support is free, damn it. Do it. You feel me? Title: Why is Naziah Harris' family mad at content creators? You feel what I mean? And without further ado, we about to get into it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I want to welcome everybody to this demonstration. Why is Naziah Harris' family mad at the content creators? Before we get started, let me knock out my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Salute to the replay gang, salute to the chat, salute to my moderators. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Now, let's just jump straight into this demonstration. Why is certain, let me just say certain, why is certain family members mad at the content creators, right? Now, Mark D from 7 Miles Radio, he was the first content creator that blew this story up.
Facts.
Then myself, along with the other content creators, came along. Now, the work that Mark D put in a lot of work getting this case to social media and getting the traffic that it needed. Shout out to Mark D. Me, along with the other content creators that came along, we was able to take it to another level. If it wasn't for the content creators on social media, I don't believe that the Naziah Harris case would be as big as it is. It's the content creators that talk about Naziah Harris every day.
And that's a fact. That's a Fendi. That man ain't told no lies. Ain't told no lies. Facts.
The news don't. And it's no disrespect to the news.
Is that my damn phone? I know good and damn well anybody calling me right now. Yo. You can't call nobody right now. We're in the middle of a video.
Because the news, they got a lot of cases that they have to, a lot of stories that they have to keep up with, and a lot of stories that they had to get out there. So it's no disrespect to the news. But us content creators, we took to heart, we look at Naziah Harris as if she's our child.
Facts.
You know, as if she's our loved one.
Facts.
So now you got family members. Miss Annette and Shannon, they are suspects amongst the content creators and subscribers. We all feel like Miss Annette and Shannon played a role in it.
Hell yeah.
Right? Then you got the two family members, Kewana and Janelle, that made the CPS report.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Roxy and Roxy's mother, Kenya. They had boots on the ground. Well, Roxy does. Roxy, you know, and for me, I've never taken anything from Janelle, Kewana, Kenya, or Roxy. I've always came on my platform and I've always gave them the utmost respect. Always.
Fact.
Now lately, there has been an issue concerning Kewana and Janelle. Now I'm just going to call a spade, and I'm going to give everybody my observation, and y'all can disagree with me or agree. And I will drop the link. I always drop the link when I speak on anybody. Roxy, Kenya, Janelle, Kewana, Shannon, Miss Annette, Marquita, y'all are more than welcome to join me on my panel. Or y'all are more than welcome to join me in my chat. If you disagree with me, that's fine. My moderators will not block you, and I will not block you. I'll let y'all get whatever it is that y'all need to get off. I'll let y'all get it off. Mm-hmm. Or if you don't feel free with joining me on the panel, if you don't feel free with joining me in the chat, join me in the replay game and let me know. But I do want to weigh in on this. Now, everything was fine when people was, speaking their mind about Miss Annette and Shannon. Let me get everybody to give Aggie a warm welcome. Aggie is new over here. Appreciate you for pulling up with us, Aggie. Can I get everybody to give Aggie a warm welcome? Everything was fine and dandy, right? When the attention was focused on Miss Annette and Shannon. Nobody ain't too much here from Kewana and Janelle, right? And y'all reasons was investigators or law enforcement want y'all to stay off of social media. When all the attention was on Roxy and Kenya, no Kewana or no Janelle. But as soon as people started focusing in on Kewana and Janelle started hopping on panels and hopping in chats. If Kewana and Janelle is listening, just answer that for me. Why?
See, yeah, now you know what? He's giving it to raw D. You feel me? Because listen, everything he's saying right now, I understand. Because see, that's the thing. It was like we was almost kind of forced to know that there was family working behind the scenes. See, I wasn't aware of that. When I first started reporting, I knew of Roxy and Mark D. That's it. I found Kenya through my own research of looking at the history when she posted stuff. So naturally, that's the only family we see on social media. So how can we help? I reached out to Mark D, you know what I'm saying? Mark D first and Roxy, you feel me? And was told by them to stand down. You did? So I'm like, okay. So that's why the confusion hit. It's like some of us don't be on TikTok and see certain things. So that's why when it was like, when I did learn about Kewana and Janelle, the first thing I said was like, yo, can somebody link me with them? But at that time, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know that it was an outside source telling them not to deal with me. So that was something that we couldn't control. But shit, that's what had me confused, because I'm like, I didn't know nothing else. I mean, the fuck?
When no one was focused on you guys, why did y'all remain in the bushes? But as soon as content creators started to look at y'all sideways and call y'all out, then that's when y'all come out of the bushes. I'm just asking for myself, could it been that y'all was just trying to defend yourself? And that may have been the issue. Don't know. But it just seemed strange to me. Now all of a sudden, Kewana and Janelle is coming out of the bushes. And I still have respect for y'all. I don't dislike y'all or none of that. I'm just trying to clear up some things.
We started covering this story back in February when Detroit Police took over the case from Detroit Public Schools Public Safety. This was not known. Nothing was known to the media until February 14th, Valentine's Day, when a massive search was underway. And then for months and months trying to find her, and then nothing.
The evidence shows overwhelmingly in this case that she is in fact deceased.
This is believed to be the last picture taken of 13-year-old Neziah Harris before she disappeared in Detroit on January 9th. Thursday, investigators announced homicide charges as well as criminal sexual conduct charges against 41-year-old Jarvis Butts, someone with a criminal record and someone known to Harris's family.
We suspected him from the beginning, considering his background.
And let's build off of that. Let me see what my chat's saying. Roxy said they suspected Jarvis from the very beginning because of his background. Tammy says, now I don't know who or what to believe. Tudor says that wig is horrible. Salute, New York City girl.
This nigga Shank be having me crying, bro. Ain't how he say shit, but no, listen, man. I totally agree where he's at right now because, bro, I can't. When did we start covering this? Bro, the thing about it is, it's crazy because when this case started really taking off, not really taking off, I got caught in the highlight of it. You feel me? And we covered so much stuff, breaking a lot of this stuff down too. It's hilarious to me because his response is was the same as mine.
Quita says they need to cut the BS and tell us where Neziah is. I'm tired of the whole family. If they love her like we do, they would do more and say more, period. I agree with you, Quita. Salute, Michelle. I agree with you. I had so much happiness in my heart when you told me now, Roxy. The mocha with my own ears immediately let me know they were full of it. And I always say, don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. You know, like I said, it was okay.
What looked like it stank? What they talking about the wig? Oh, come. Hold on, man. What the fuck? Why does shit look all big? Hold on 1 second. Let me get this right so I can get everything in here. Cause what the fuck? Okay, there we go. Let me get this. Y'all in the comments gotta be stopped. Y'all are unhinged. Facts. Unhinged. Let's get it.
When people was riding down on everybody but Kewana and Janelle. How the hell you say you switched to the other side? Ain't no side but Neziah's. That's facts. Salute, Sabrina. Salute. So now, Kewana and Janelle comes out of the bushes. And see, when I interviewed Marquita, and you know, Marquita had a right to get some things off of her chest. They all got a right to get things off of their chest. As much as we feel a certain way about Shannon and Miss Annette and Shannon, they got some things to get off their chest. And we can't just bypass what they have to get off their chest. Thank you, George. My daughter can't get used to it, but I'm so happy, let it grow. I think I might have missed your comment. I think I got it. To stop the ish, they all knew about Jarvis. That's facts. And they even said they knew about Jarvis. They all knew about Jarvis. And that was my main question. That was my main concern. Salute, Evelyn. Salute, Capricorn, John. How was Jarvis able to operate all those years? Nobody knew Jarvis's background? Oh, they knew Jarvis's background. In my opinion, only thing for Chess released what happened to Nazar. And I'm going to tell you why they knew. Salute, Michelle, April. What bothers me is how does these family members have the time for interviews, panels, and typing in the chats, but ain't out there looking for Nazar? Exactly. My thing is, if she's saying we suspected him, how long did y'all have suspicions? And why y'all ain't tried hard enough to get her out the situation? Exactly. Salute, Red. Salute, Red, you up? Salute, Sabrina.
A roast beef sandwich.
Shank, because they knew when the closet got open, they skeletons would start pouring out. Facts. That's facts. Salute, Ray. Salute, Tracy. If they suspected Jarvis from the beginning, why didn't they stay on the police's neck in them first 30 days? Exactly. Salute, Aisha. Aisha says, Shank, I'm hot with the funky asses tonight. Feel free to time me out if I go too far. These hoes got me 38 hot. Team Nazar. I'm going to tell everybody, handle y'all business. As long as y'all don't use profanity, y'all can speak whatever is on your chest. Y'all can speak whatever is on your mind. Get it off. Just no profanity. All right? Y'all can even disagree with Shank Rock. Just no profanity. But get whatever it is y'all need to get off your chest. Go hard in the paint. They knew Jarvis' background. Shannon said if the world gave him a chance, why shouldn't she? Salute, Lisa. Why is they funky asses coming for people that want to know where Nazar Harris is? We know for sure Shannon knew his background because he told her. That's fine, exactly. So, salute, Yolanda. So for me, y'all, I just would like to get Janelle and Kiwana's perspective on things. That's all. They definitely knew his background. He told Shannon, and she chose to give him a chance. Since society had given him a chance, all of them are sad. I would like to hear what Kewana and Janelle has to say.
And things like that we've heard about him.
Butts is being charged with homicide despite the fact that the teenager's body was never found. During Thursday's press conference, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy revealing shocking evidence.
You look at that face, and you do not see the horrors that she had gone through in her short life. The exploitation, the molestations, the sexual abuse, and the pregnancy that she was concealing. There's no evidence of anyone else being the father of that child, other than the defendant himself, who we charge today. And he knew she was pregnant. We know that she was also searching for ways to abort the baby.
This is a story that has attracted a lot of attention. Detroit podcaster Mark DeAndre.
Even in March, when I was doing the podcast, I felt like I had this thing pretty much solved as far as, what came out today. I said this months ago as far as what the end result was.
Investigators say they have no plans to charge anyone else in this case.
I'm upset about that, and I would like to see charges being brought against those that knew, that were affiliated with him and knowing, and that allowed him to be around the children knowing he wasn't supposed to be.
In a sad turn of events, Nazar Harris's father, Mervyn Jennings, passed away this summer.
Literally died of a broken heart. Unfortunately, he had congestive heart failure. He's already sick and got sicker going out looking for her.
We're going to go to Miss Parker's. We're going to react to Miss Parker. All right? We're going to react to Miss Parker. Sorry, but what could they possibly say that's not about them? When
Just a small little thing. I just have to be honest. I have a Nazar Harris playlist. Just being real. I think, matter of fact, let me just see where it was at. Hold on 1 second. there's a Naziah Harris playlist on my channel. Okay, a lot of people probably find me through individual videos. We about to get into it right now. On this playlist, okay, I have upwards of almost 56 videos that touch on everything. Some of the things we uncovered all the way back. What was this? Shit. So much behind the scenes, so much things that we did. We walked through a lot of stuff. Okay. A lot of people have been asking me too, and I been putting this on my community post. The trial, the cases going through the cities of Detroit, going through the city of Detroit. All of the testimony as far as questionable shit. It's all in that playlist. Click on it. You can be on there for 4 days. Okay. I think when we started? When was this? Let's just see for a second. We started this semi like 4 months ago. Okay. Or whatever. A lot of this stuff, you know what I'm saying, that's coming out now. You know what I mean, or whatever. We really did touch bases on thoroughly. Or whatever, and you really have to check a lot of that stuff out, because a lot of the stuff that Shank is saying right now is definitely on the money. No bullshit. I'm just being honest with you. It's crazy. Yes, Shannon was aware. The family was aware. But here's the thing. I want you to also understand that in the middle of this case, there's two monsters. I know that we're all looking at this case, and we looking at it, and we like, you could have did this, you should have did this. We are also dealing with a case right now with Kimari, okay? With a lady, with a mama, all right? Who didn't know what happened to her son, and things like that, because CPS had their hands in this case. Yes, there were things that I wish that a lot of the family could have did, but there's also things that they wouldn't have been able to do. And I want people to also be open-minded to that fact. I know we all be saying what we'll do in that situation, how heroic we say that we in. I'm not trying to slight nobody, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, when you look at the CPS report, and I broke that thing down into details. You go right to that Naziah Harris playlist, the CPS report from when Janelle and Kewana first report. You got to look inside of that report. All right. And that's what I asked for you guys to do, because there was a lot of correspondence from Janelle and Kewana. There was. But there was only going to be certain amount of things that they could do from their end. Yes. They could have went in there and kicked the door down, stole the kids, and went to jail. And now you got somebody who's not there for not only their kids, but Naziah and her brother as well. There's a lot of things that people could have did differently. But here's the thing. We don't understand those things until we get in that situation. You know what I mean? That's just quite frankly. The failure came from inside the home. That's it. That's all. Okay? I understand. For a minute, I was mad at a lot of motherfuckers from this case. But I can't hold Roxy, Kenya, Kewana, Janelle to the type of accountability that I can do for Shannon and Annette. They wasn't in the house. We're spending a lot of time trying to pick their argument apart. Kewana, Janelle, Roxy, such and such. We didn't spend 6 months doing this. What they could have did better. We have more videos about Kewana, Janelle, Roxy, and Kenya than we do of Shannon and Annette. Can't make this type of shit up. Go Google it. I got no time to be fucking with y'all folks. You know what I mean? We do. That's a fact. The fact that remains is, you know what I mean? There was only so much all four of them could have did. Here's the thing that I do understand. Without them four making whatever noise that they made, we wouldn't know nothing about Naziah. So whatever the fuck happened, it happened. God, thank you so much for it happening. What I'm just trying to understand, even in this whole debauchery, is why we're concentrating more on what people could have done, right? On the outside of the house, more so than what people could have done from the inside of the house. See, my smoke is with two people right now that's from their family. I'm just being real. My smoke is with Annette. My smoke is with Shannon. You know why? Because that's where the baby was last. You were the two women who seen her last. Did Kewana and Janelle and them know that Jarvis was a pedophile? Yeah. Okay. What the fuck then? Because CPS and Shannon and Annette was letting the nigga in the house. So even if they knew what they knew, what the fuck could they have done? This is what I'm trying to get people to understand. I want y'all to understand. I'm trying to understand what we mad at. I want to be on everybody. I want to be on everybody's side, but I'm trying to figure out who we mad at. Because from the beginning, I've been mad at two bitches. The grandmama for feeling like it was smart as fuck to wait 24 hours to call the police. And the bitch who gave him the key to the house. That's who I'm mad at. I just feel like I want us to be mad at the right people. CPS. This is what I need people to understand. And I'm not taking a side. These are just facts. Janelle and Kewana did everything they could do from their end. They did it. CPS talked to Naziah themselves. Listen to me, goddammit. They talked to Naziah themselves. Naziah said, this man is harming me. It's in black and white. After we do Shank video, I'll go back and show. It's in the playlist. After Naziah saying something, another child saying something, Janelle saying something, Kewana saying something, Kenya even hitting CPS, Roxy hitting CPS, Mark D stumping the ground. Even after all of this, CPS still signed off and said the baby and Jarvis can stay in the house. Now again, I ask you, why are we wasting energy trying to figure out what else they could have done? Stop it. Please. Everybody. I need y'all to do that. CPS signed off on it. The only thing that any outside family member could have done at that point was commit a crime and go to jail. Because they would have had to kidnap them babies to get answers. That's the beef in the macaroni. That's it. That's all. Regardless of what people knew, what they was privy, CPS knew what Jarvis was. And still let the man go or be around children. See, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. The fight that we fighting got nothing to do with no goddamn argument. The fighting that we fighting is boots on the ground so we can get motherfucking accountability on CP. It's 5 kids I'm dealing with right now. 5. CPS is in the middle of all of them. I want us to be on the same page of who we fussing at. That's all I'm saying. Because while we're keeping up a facade of the arguments with the Kenyas, the Roxy, the Janelles, and the Kewanas, guess what Annette and Shannon, thick asses, is doing? Exactly.
When Naziah went missing, I wonder if Shannon immediately looked at Jarvis, being as though she knew he was a pedo, or did she fake the funk from jump and act like she just ran away? I think she faked the funk from jump. I think Shannon already knew. She need to sit down for real, like under the ground, sit down. Because here's my thing with Shannon. Even if Shannon didn't participate in it, Shannon should at least contacted Jarvis. Shannon should at least went up to that shop. What came out, y'all fill me in. She would have at least went up to that shop. The mere fact that Shannon didn't try to contact Naziah, that raised a red flag to me. That man reminds me of the frog from Princess and the Frog. How do you know that, Jawbone? You got the donkey of the day, Kim Worthless. This is the only way I found out about Naziah. I live only an hour away. Wow. Wow, Cheryl. Wow. But let me pull up Miss Parker's demonstration from about an hour ago. and let's react to Miss Parker. Miss Parker is always bringing the heat.
Step into Wix Studio and handle every part of your build from one platform.
Salute.
Shout out to Miss Parker and the Riders. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me take a quick commercial and I'll be right back.
Me a handful of times. Now, which one is it? Either he wasn't allowed around you because she knew how you felt, or either he was around you a handful of times. It can't be both. I wasn't around Westside, but Westside was around me a handful of times. Come on, y'all, riders.
And I ain't gonna sit up and be arguing back and forth with these people. I put out my information. Hey, and that's just that. That's just that. You can't argue. You can't argue with a lie. You can't argue with the truth. So which one is it?
And Kobe show video with Tammy made the man anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because you woke that back up because
Is it just me? I can't hear Shank. Hold on. I don't want to hide Shank and I don't want to hide Miss Parker. Let me go up here. Hold on. Where we at? What we doing, y'all? Let me see.
Shannon wanted that memory, but she didn't want people to see who it was at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at the photos, all the photos of all of them is likes, is hearts. But then when you go to them 2 specific photos, it's only, excuse me, it's only mad emojis because people knew who that was. And that whole body frame, structure, the face, everything, it resembles Jarvis to me.
I go, God is. Just wanted to get this out the way before.
My bad, y'all. Hey. And they starting to cook. My bad. So can you explain that, Janelle? Can you explain that?
So Janelle is in his comments right now?
This whole time is saying, and that's what I told her in the comments, is saying that you paid for them to go to Disney World. You keep saying, I took them, her and her kids, to Disneyland. But now I'm saying you didn't take them. Also, she said her and her husband paid for them and their kids to go. But all I see in the photos is her youngest son. But she's saying that could be her husband. I said, how could you not know who's in these pictures? She's saying she don't remember these pictures, but
Child, you Copies, come on, let's talk about it. Don't you remember events like that? Hell, I remember when we went to Disney. Me and Shank went to Disney in 2023. We seen Blue Ivy. She was on the ride with us. We seen Kobe Bryant's daughter. You know what I'm saying? My daughter got pictures with Kobe Bryant's daughter. It's on my, I think I shared it on my shorts, but I don't remember. But I remember everything about Disney.
But that's what I said. I said when people go to places like this, they take pictures for memories. Why is that person's face the only one cropped out? Like, this is because Shannon wanted that memory, but she didn't want people to see who it was at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at the photos, all the photos of all of them is likes, is hearts. But then when you go to them 2 specific photos, it's only, excuse me, it's only mad emojis because people knew who that was. And that whole body frame, structure, the face, everything, it resembles Jarvis to me.
Let's stay right there. Janelle, can you answer that question? So Janelle took Shannon and Jarvis to Disney in 2023. And this is a good question, a general question. Yes or no? Cold Piece produced the receipt Can we get the answer to that? Can I get the answer to that? And I think it's just a good question.
Hold on. Hold on one second. So what they're saying in 2023 that Jarvis was on a picture with Janelle or Kewana, I mean was with on a picture with Janelle? Is that what they're saying?
And what I want to know is, why will Janelle and Kewana, why will they come in Miss Parker's chat? Now, Kewana and Janelle, y'all know what y'all gonna get when y'all go in Miss Parker's chat. Why won't y'all come in my chat? You know, in my chat, on my panel, or on my chat, ain't nobody gonna bother y'all. You know, they might, voice their opinions and stuff, but over here with me, it ain't gonna be no shouting and no cussing and no loud, this and loud that. You all will have an opportunity to speak your piece, so pull up on me. Pull up on me. I think what Cold Peace presented, I think is legit. Drop a one if y'all think this receipt, this information that Cold Peace produced. Drop a one if y'all think it's a good piece of evidence. It's a good receipt. Drop a two if you say, nah, Shank, nah, Cold Peace don't, know what she talking about. I'm gonna drop a one with everybody else. I think Cold Peace is dead on the money.
And like I said from the start, I'm gonna say allegedly. These are my opinions. You know what I'm saying? This is my opinion. These are my thoughts. I've been holding on to this from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally went to Shannon. I went to her. This is what makes me look crazy, because like I went to her page and I went back to get that. It was a video. It was an actual video. And I actually seen this man's face. But I can't prove that now. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So people y'all can take my word for it or y'all don't have to. But like I said in my comments, I want to see her post this picture, the full picture then, to prove, to debunk that that's not Jarvis. Now, man, if y'all listen to the video, they also, Janelle's and Kiwana's, their story's been the same, but like periodically on different panels, a little bit of something comes out here and there. That's why I said y'all gotta listen, because if you listen long enough and hard enough, people they telling themselves, right?
I gotta agree with Cold Peace. Miss Parker says, why would the people put the angry emoji on that picture but not the other ones? That's a good point. That's a good question, Miss Parker. That's a good question. Aisha says, man, spot on. Sharita says, she's spot on, a Cold Peace. I see through you says, Cold Peace TV, dead on. One, Gilmore girl, your son is in those multicolored swimming trunks. Cold Peace on her ish. I've been listening to her speak on Miss Parker, and man, I mean, you can't deny that. I think this is bigger than Naziah because of all the connections he had with Frank and other associates. I really don't trust Kim Worthless either because of her shady background. Salute Miami's finest. Okay, good. All right. And we have to let Kewana, we have to let her speak her piece, y'all, because I did invite her over here. So let her speak her piece, y'all. No name calling. Let Kewana speak her piece. Kewana says, nah, this not on the money. She only repeating what SD said. This all of a sudden a topic when she never heard this. She spoke on this multiple times. Okay. I appreciate you, Kewana.
All right, so let me just make sure that I'm following this correctly. So basically there was a picture that was on Janelle's page. I guess that Jarvis was supposedly supposed to be in. However, it was like his face wasn't on it. And people were under the assumption that that was him based upon the responses in the comments. Okay. I get it now. I still got one question. I swear to God, y'all, I'm just still trying to understand. I'm just trying to figure out how is that contributing to Neziah. All right, so basically you saying this alleged attempt to happen in what, in 2023? So you're basically saying what, that they went to CPS but still was around them? Is that what the argument is? Can somebody just help me a little bit, please?
I appreciate it. So Kewana feels as though the receipt that Cold Piece produced is not accurate. And remember, y'all could disagree.
Okay, you said it looked like Jarvis for real. Okay, so let's just say it's Jarvis. Okay, I'm just trying to understand how this works to like Neziah. Help me, y'all. I'm just trying to figure it out. That's all. Don't yell at me in the comments. I'm just saying. So let's say we found out that the dead leg belongs to Jarvis. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out. So what is it saying though? Janelle said it wasn't him, but you don't know. Okay, so y'all basically saying, yo, she lying. That Janelle was lying and blah this and this and this and that. So, okay, I'm gonna look into it. Maybe it's gonna come out in a minute.
With Kewana, but no name calling, and let Kewana speak her piece. All right, because I did invite her over here.
Okay.
So let her speak her piece, y'all. She says they literally on BS. All right.
So they actually didn't start reporting Neziah missing. Neziah CPS on Jarvis until 2022. Jarvis has been around since, what was it, 2009, because they said he was around when Shank was 16. So I went and did the math. I might be off a little bit, but he's been around since 2019.
All right. Now let me get this. Kewana says, yeah, your girl being a real messy ass female. Now, this is my opinion on it. This is my opinion on Miss Parker Kewana. Kewana says she threw herself in a beef that had nothing to do with her. What I can say about Miss Parker cares for Neziah Harris. And Miss Parker really, really puts her work in this case. She does. And Miss Parker will tell you, if she went to the left, I will pull Miss Parker and say, nah. Don't go over there. You're going too far to the left. Get back and go straight. Me personally, I don't see anything with Miss Parker in her research. I don't. I think that you and Miss Parker, y'all went left with each other because at first, I do believe that you and Miss Parker was cool. I remember when you used to pull up in Miss Parker's chat and y'all was cool. Miss Parker says, I reacted to Cold Piece Live. So what the F we talking about? And I think when Miss Parker disagreed with you, Kewana, and I think Miss Parker's disagreements with you, I think it was legit. But I still feel as though when she disagreed with you, I think that's when y'all went left. This not K. I think that's when you and Miss Parker went left. Am I right, Miss Parker?
See, I think the problem that a lot of creators is running into, and I try to, like, especially people who I care about, I try to be very close. I try to be honest with them, you know what I mean, or whatever. Especially when it comes down to doing videos like this. There's really no being cool. That's where the problem lied. When I got into the back and forth with the other creator, I said it and I left it alone. I said, you're gonna see. Okay. Now it looks like that content creator and her is not getting along anymore. This is the thing. It's no cool. For you to be completely unbiased and for you to be able to stay with your eyes on the prize, there's no cool. If I reach out to a family member, it's in a business setting. That's it, that's all. It's no hee ha ha. It's none of that shit. It can't be. Because see, that's the reason why sometimes why our focus and we fall off the kilter. Because it's no cool. You know what I mean? And I think we all seen the blueprint of that when it came down to Kewana and SD. I said it right then. They're too close. Something bad is going to happen. I said it. SD was, oh, you don't know shit. I said, okay, boo. Rock your world. I give you 2 weeks. It wasn't 2 weeks until I came back and they was arguing. The reason being is because there's no such thing as closeness or being cool when you're trying to get to the bottom of an issue. That's it. That's all. You feel me? I'm just being honest. When you be cool, it blurs lines that you would never be able to get back in color. It's just a fact. If I was to interview anybody, it's an interview. We're going to talk. Once we're done, that's it. You know what I mean? Because it's impossible sometimes to do this. Especially when you have this much controversy around a particular topic. Everybody is passionate about it for their own reasons. You know what I mean? So it makes it very, very hard. But let's keep going.
Am I right? And one thing about Miss Parker, and I'm going to keep it real. Miss Parker don't care who you is. If Miss Parker disagrees with you, she disagrees with you. Miss Parker ain't going to bite her tongue for nobody. Kewana says care is understanding from start to finish what's transpired. I will say that about Miss Parker. You know, she she'll disagree with you. She will. And she got that right to disagree. You know. Now I don't know how far to the left you and Miss Parker is. Okay, I'm gonna take Cold Piece. Appreciate you for pulling up Cold Piece. Cold Piece says it's no beef on my end at all. I'm reporting. And once again, shout out to Cold Piece. And let me just say this to Kewana and the rest of Naziah's family. That's all we all are doing. Cold Piece TV, Miss Parker, and everybody else. All we're doing is reporting. That's it. Unfortunately, y'all family is under the microscope. Unfortunately, y'all family is under the microscope. And the reason why y'all family is under the microscope is because a little girl has been abused. A little girl's life has been taken away from her. And family members knew. Some family members sat back and didn't do nothing. Kewana and Janelle, and I'ma still give y'all respect and I'ma still give y'all credit. Y'all did, from what I see and from what I report. Kewana and Janelle, y'all did make the CPS report. Y'all did. So I can't take that from y'all. But now things are coming out that this trip to Disneyland or Disney World, I believe, that Jarvis was actually there. Jarvis was actually there. And allegedly, Janelle paid for that Disney trip, listen, I understand that's your girl, but nah, she jumped in BS when we got into it with SD. It had nothing to do with her. If you report facts. I said I knew nothing about Jarvis being a whatever that is. I'm not sure. And what I'm gonna do is, Kewana.
I catch you up, Dad. I think it's Deja. So basically, we reacting to Shank. He had a title. Is why is Naziah Harris family mad at content creators? And I feel like the title was interesting because, you know what I'm saying, you know, we've seen a lot of things back and forth. I had my own, you know what I'm saying, I won't even say issue, but I had my own misunderstanding with a member of the family as well. So I was interested in watching it. Now, in watching it, he's bringing up certain situations where I guess it was shown or it's proven that Janelle and Kewana allegedly, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, was lying about certain things. I guess one of them is being in 2023, I guess there was a trip to Disneyland in which they're allegedly saying that Janelle funded, okay? Now, that makes it a little bit, it does make it icky. I still don't know how it really contributes to us finding Naziah, but it does speak to her character if this so happens to be true. Now, I guess they're saying in 2023 there was a trip to Disney World in which she funded, or even if she didn't fund, I guess Jarvis was there, but she filed a report to CPS in 2022. So I guess they're trying to say a lot of things that she said before doesn't hold water. And it looks like in the midst of this, Shank was asking, you know what I'm saying, like, why all of a sudden do it seem like you're mad about this and you're mad about that, or you didn't get this until Roxy and her mother was doing certain things. And it looks like Kewana came in and she's explaining her side of the story. You dig? So I think that's it right there.
I'm gonna let Miss Parker address you, but I will take your comments and everything. I will take your comments.
And they didn't start doing nothing about what was going on until he actually, I guess, touched the kid, which was in 2022, is what they said. So he'd been around all these years, around everybody, and nobody did nothing. Nobody did nothing. That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, I get them their flowers for doing what they did when they did it, but still, because she said she said on panels multiple times that when she found out who Jarvis was, that's when she started going to report him that he hadn't been recognized.
I mean this in the utmost respect. I hear what the young lady is saying. I get it. But see, the questions that I want the answers to is the ones that's going to be related to Naziah. I want us to ask Marquita, to ask her mama, why she chose to wait 24 hours. I want Marquita to ask her sister if she seen Jarvis that night that Naziah disappeared. See, here's the thing. I'm at the point right now to where men lie, women lie. It happens, all right? I'm still trying to understand how their lies that they're telling, right, about Disney World or knowing Jarvis longer than they said. I'm just trying to understand how that factors in to Naziah not being here. You feel me? I can give a fuck less if Jarvis was at Disney World in 2023. Does it make Janelle a liar? Probably so. But that piece of information is not letting me know what happened that night. You feel me? That's the only thing that I'm just trying to understand in this. I feel like we've caught a lot of people in lies. Let's just be real. I've caught a lot of people in lies. And I'm going to refer back to my playlist. If you go to the playlist, we breaks it down. Oh, I was a cussing nigga. You feel me? I get it. Right now, though, I want to find a baby. I don't really care about a motherfucking grown-ass person's character. That's just all I'm trying to say. And I don't want to, I'm trying to say it delicate because I don't want to seem like I'm down. I'm not down or nothing. It's just that I guess because we went around this circle already. When we first start covering like all of this, like we dissected this shit to the T. I swear to God, I can't make this up. I guess where I'm at now is I want to find a baby. And I feel like we're talking to great family members, but we're also talking to the wrong ones. You know what I'm saying? And we're asking some questions that I feel like is not helping us find Neziah. Where's the child? Okay. So like my questions are more proposed to Shannon and Annette. Because one thing I do know, on January 9th, a baby went missing. And the two grown-ups that was there, you feel me? Those are the ones that I'm in tune with. Because let's say even though in 2023, they went to Disney World, right? I still need to know what happened that night in the house, where the family is. Now, I see that last Alicia saying they helped hide her. Who is they? Help me understand who they is. No. First of all, yada yada. First of all, yada yada. Calm the fuck down. I'm not talking nothing bad about Miss Parker. Everything that Miss Parker has done, I stamp behind. Trust me. I'm doing what everybody else is doing. I'm watching the video. I'm reacting. I'm asking questions. You know what I mean? This is no slight. I talk to Miss Parker outside of this YouTube shit. I don't get caught up in that. Let me make that very fucking clear. I don't want you to think that this is a pointing the finger about information. No, that's not what it is. I'm asking a question that has relevance. You know what I mean? Don't come over here with that emotional shit, because I'm telling you like this. You know what I mean? It's the wrong thing to do. There's one person that y'all see me talk about, and that's that lady on the screen right here, Miss Parker. That's who you hear me talk about. I'm asking questions with reference what's going on. So it ain't no bump that. Yada yada. You feel me? It ain't no bump that. Because I support her the long way. And we'll always do that shit. On and off this shit. So let's get that straightened out right now. See, on my channel, what is not gonna happen, you know what I'm saying, is niggas get caught up in a dick control contest. I don't do that. You know what I mean? Everybody that I'm reacting to, I pay homage to. However, I have my own brain. The same way that Miss Parker will react to a video to me and say, oh yeah, I nigga toot my nigga, but I don't agree with that. That would be fine and goddamn dandy. You know why? Because that's the reason why I migrate around people like that. I don't want people who think just like me near me. It's not gonna grow me. Okay? So pipe that shit. Any goddamn comments. I'm asking a legitimate question. What do Jarvis being at Disney World got to do with the fucking baby being missing? That's it. Somebody in the comments said they thinking that the family is help hiding. I got my first answer. Now I'm gonna finish watching the rest of the video. The fuck, bro?
And I believe that was in 2013.
Once again, I think cold peace. I think, like she said the same thing I said. I give y'all the flowers for reporting it. However, y'all knew. Kewana says, your girl talked and about everything but Neziah. We made report, went to police, almost was thrown in jail multiple times. She says, Janelle said Jarvis wasn't at Disneyland, all right? So according to Kewana, Janelle says that Jarvis wasn't there, all right? So they had half of a pic saying it's Jarvis. It's literally her son. She said that, okay?
If I'm not mistaken. but I got to go back to my video and recall. But long story short, they reported him. She reported him. I think it was 2013, maybe 2019. I can't remember the date right off that. And then in 2022 is when they started calling CPS and stuff like that. So all these years, my point that I'm trying to make is he's been around. Everybody knowing his background.
And that's Cold Peace point. And I think we all say the same thing. Jarvis been around. He's been around. He's been at parties. He's been around. Cold Peace says no. She says she didn't know. Kewana says she keeps saying we did nothing. So I want them to tell us what we should have done. Kewana says we didn't stop at reporting. I seen the comment from Cold Peace. I found out about this in 2022. Cold Peace says he's been around since 2009. He has been around since 2009, Kewana. But Kewana says she found out about this 2022, but Jarvis been around since 2009. And this is my question that I always ask. Y'all had to know Jarvis's background. Y'all had to know what Jarvis had on his report card. Why was he allowed to be around them babies? Why was he allowed to be around them babies? Janelle said once she found out, she reported it as well. Now, let me ask you this, Kewana. When you first found out that Jarvis and Shannon was a couple, how did you feel? Second question, when did you find out that Jarvis was a SO? When did you find out when he was a SO? How did you feel about Shannon and Jarvis being together? And when did you find out about Jarvis's report card? What's on his report card? She reported him for not registering, then 2022 CPS, but nothing between time. Good one. Okay. Kewana says, I never knew Jarvis at all. So when they was together, you never questioned, because Shannon got 5 children by Jarvis. Yeah, she can hit the link. If you want to hit the link, Kenya. Feel free to hit the link, Kenya, or Janelle, or Cold Peace. Cold Peace can hit the link as well. Kenya?
No, Miss Parker, there's nothing wrong with me reacting to it. It's like we reacting to it. I'm getting understanding like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be certain questions I'm going to ask. But I don't want nobody to think that I'm taking away from your work, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm asking questions that we would ask anyway. If you was reacting to me, you would be like, shit, what? But what they got to do with Naziah right now? You know, you would ask the same. I'm just trying to figure out what this video was about. You know what I'm saying? Because the title a little bit is a little bit different. I'm thinking that it was mad at content creators a little bit. But now I'm understanding that y'all just basically showing that these ladies is always calling, well, people saying that everybody else is liars. And y'all basically saying, well, shit, nigga, they got shit in their closet too. I get it now. You feel what I mean? But I'm going to ask the question because I'm reacting in real time like everybody else. But it ain't none of that. My blood pressure is good. It's just that sometimes people be taking things of what people are saying completely wrong. And it ain't that. You know what I mean? You the only content creator that be seeing me shot their ass out like that. Only one. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't want that shit to get misconstrued at all, bro. Because you work hard. And I always, man, you know the truth. Shit. But
Janelle, y'all can hit the link if y'all want to.
And nobody did nothing all these years. All these years.
And don't forget, had their children around.
Had their children around. And now, so I played the video of Roxy saying, don't let them fool y'all, because I don't know who she was talking about, Kewana or Janelle, but they were saying that whichever one it was, had been at that birthday party when one of them kids got touched or whatever. So I'm trying to figure out, because she commented in the comment section, said, I gave the apartment to Shannon. Because I was like, did she give the apartment to Shannon and Jarvis? Hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, did she? Because, I mean, people knowing he'd be over there, because she blankly said that Jarvis is the reason why she got put out.
Absolutely. It might went over people's head, but go ahead, Kobe. She definitely said that.
I mean, like, it's just it's so much. And and then I got people be coming in my comments saying weird stuff when I'm like literally it's not like I'm making it up. I'm putting their own words on the fucking screen.
That's what they do. They even told me to quit lying, and I said, how am I lying? I'm reacting like we're content creators. We react to what they say and say, did y'all just hear this? And we take it back. Take it back, Miss Parker. Take it back, Hope Piece. Wait a minute. With you
I was lying. I said, bitch, you lying. I told them just like that. Stop coming over here. Y'all act like we don't get tired of y'all coming over here saying we lying about something when we putting up what they saying on their own. Y'all can't get mad at me for going and grabbing the stuff that y'all put out periodically and then put it together.
Yes, they do. I just had if I opened my chat, Kopiece yesterday, the woman told me she can't wait for the trial to open so all of us podcasters can stop telling lies. And I said, I never go live without playing a video.
Yep.
I never, with them in it.
Yep. And that's what I do. Like, I get news clippings, I get what they said on panels, and I put it together. I'm in the background, I stay quiet, and I do my work, and I put it out how I put it out. Like, y'all can like it or y'all ain't gotta like it. But she clearly in my comments, and she said, first of all, she said she don't know where these pictures came from. I said, off of Shannon's page, go look.
Shut up, Kopiece. I know you lying to me.
Girl, when you get off your live, go.
How you don't know, and we already know that you the one say you took her and her kids to Disney. So
and then it's the crazy part that pissed me off, because somebody came in my comments and was like, what year was it? I said, it don't matter what year was it. It's the point that they've been around him, knowing that he's a pedo. It don't matter what year that this was taken, in 2019, 2022, whatever. They was around. He's been around. He's, like I said in that video, he's a part of the family until shit went left.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. Yeah. That's all it is. Y'all can't be mad at us for putting stuff together and making it make sense.
I seen somebody with a word comment under one of the videos. I think it was the one that you did with the Tammy and Roxy and them. And I seen it, and I just say they don't want the truth, Kopiece. Everybody doesn't want the truth, and some people like to run with conspiracies rather than listen to understand what they said. And from a year ago to now, everything's changed.
Yeah, and listen. So it was yesterday on that video that I did, and one girl was like, "And to think I just subscribed to your channel." I was like, "Okay, unsubscribe. Unsubscribe, baby. I'm not holding you hostage. Unsubscribe, because if you don't like it, somebody else will. I'm doing what I do. I ain't hurt nobody. Because my thing is, if they didn't want it out, they shouldn't have been talking."
I agree with Kopiece. If y'all don't want things out, then why talk? You know? Now, I will ask you this, Kewana. As content creators, what do you think we can do to help? What do you think that we can do better? Let me just throw that out there. What do you think we can do better to help with getting justice for Nazaria Harris? Should we stop? Should we stop reporting on Nazaria Harris? Should we? Let me ask this question, Kewana. Should we leave Nazaria's family out of this? Should we take Nazaria's family off of the table? Let's start there, Kewana. Kewana says, Tasha Bennett, I can't be called out. I have nothing to lie about. You want to be right so bad. Let me know. should us content creators leave the family out of this? Kopi says, no, we need to stop letting them on panels so they won't say we twisting their words.
I agree.
Good point, Kopi.
I agree.
Good point. How do y'all feel? Do y'all agree with Kopi? Should we stop allowing Naziah's family members on our panels? Emma Brown, they will not continue to put BS out, and I say nothing, we did that. Because I don't wanna stop reporting on the Naziah Harris case. I don't. I have other cases that I report on as well, and it drains you. It drains you. If you're not a content creator, you have no idea of the life that we live. Kewana says, Cold Piece TV, you can't tell us what the F to do. We grown as you saying ish, not true, isn't justice, is BS, he say, she say. Cold Piece says, let me make sure I got Cold Piece. She says, I'm not going to stop. What will they do? Argue and fight everybody that speaks? This is insane.
That I agree with wholeheartedly. I think that's where a lot of confusion is coming from. That right there. I've never seen in so many ways a person refusing help. I don't really think they know how much of a blessing I don't think they know how much of a blessing they really have. As far as their loved one's story getting told to this magnitude. I don't think they understand. And it's a story that happens so much, right? But it don't always gain the same traction. For some reason, God put this baby on everybody's heart. The biggest problem that I don't understand is the pushback. I'm gonna be honest with you. The thing that stuck with me the most was, this ain't your family. And I ain't understand that. Because it's like, what the fuck do that even mean? You know what I'm saying? Do you want the help? Do you want help or not? It's a baby missing. So I definitely get that, because it just seemed like it's more pushback. I ain't gonna lie, I was utterly shocked when Kenya called in earlier saying, hey, did they be welcoming the search? Because it was like we was told to stand. It's just so much confusion to where it's like, with me, I'm at the point to where it's so much confusion to where I don't want the confusion to start overshadowing Naziah. You don't want to Google Naziah, and the things that's popping up is arguments from the family and not Naziah. You know what I mean? That was the thing in the beginning, where I always was just like, I wish all of the family would just stop talking. Like, if you conduct a great interview, you know what I'm saying? I really thought Kewana would have did an interview with Miss Parker. You know what I'm saying? Because, I already know she don't like me. You feel me? Because I feel like that she would have been able to really not only empathize with what a woman would have stood for and things like this. I think that sometimes I think Kewana makes enemies with the wrong people. I really do. I swear to God. Because it was like, it's the people who was really advocating the most, the ones that she has the biggest problems with, and I don't understand that part. You did? And I feel like you just do a one-time thing, so therefore you don't have confusion. My whole thing from the beginning, and I never switched up from the beginning, I haven't got into a lot of this stuff, especially this side of Naziah. That's why I'm reacting to the video, and I'm trying to understand, because I'm gonna be the first to tell you, I didn't never get into this side. I really turned a deaf ear to it, because I never wanted to overshadow Naziah. And we live in a world right now to where you can have 5,000 truths and they'll all be on the internet for days. You have one piece of drama. It's going to brush past that truth like you've never seen before. So when you have an innocent baby like Naziah, what you think happens with the drama and stuff? It overshadows her. Now we further away from finding her than ever before. Because now we got to weed through this other shit. We got to try to figure out what's going on with some shit before we can even get started. This baby was already 30 days behind. Do y'all not understand that part? Before Detroit Police Department even started an investigation, we was already 30 days behind. Which means any type of footage that we could have got was probably erased. You feel me? We 30 days behind. Motherfuckers done got a 30-day head start. Not only do we got to go back and try to fill in the pieces, fill in the gaps, now we got to try to sort through shit that we shouldn't even be sorting through to find her. It's like, I don't understand how people like get mad at me for feeling that. I swear to God, bro. I swear to God.
They should have been talking, and I'm not the one to be spreading lies. And like I said, I'm putting allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly, but if you ask me, that's Jarvis. We know Shannon. Who the hell else going to be holding her son? Well,
Kewana says, Shank, all I'm saying is the not speaking facts, though, to be honest. I said when I found out what the F I got to lie for. Kobe says, it's your own words. You fighting the wrong fight, period. Also, I said I didn't know Jarvis. What the F I got to lie? Kobe says, what's not facts?
Well, we don't know her personally, but just, you know what I'm saying? Seeing
the fact that you telling all about where did you get these pictures from? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That makes
one of your people to go in my comments. Tell one of your people to go in my comments and get it. And whatever you want to use to do commentary on, you can. I don't mind. You still be asking me on my stuff, and I'll be like, why is she asking me? I already told her.
Kewana says, they said only one spoke out because we got into it with Annette when that's why he fell out with her for speaking out. Kobe says, okay, you didn't know him. We can't prove that, but we on Janelle and Disney. Right. Nah, they spinning narratives. That's not true. It's BS. Kobe says, Kewana, I don't know about that.
Hold on, you guys. They said that she's finna pop up. Hold on. 2 minutes and 37, you said? Let me see. Okay.
Kenya and Janelle, they remain in the bushes. I felt like when the attention was on Roxy and her mother, Kenya, I felt like Kewana and Janelle remained in the bushes. But then when things turned left with Miss Parker and Kewana and I believe y'all know the other content creator that I'm talking about, that's when they came out of the bushes. And then that's when they came on your platform, Mocha.
Correct.
So my question to Kewana was, why was it okay when all the attention wasn't on them, it was on Roxy and them, but now that the attention is on Kewana and Janelle with the demonstration that Kobe's done, why is they coming out? So that's how we got there. Now, Look, ain't but so much I could do now. If you now, let me say this also, Kewana, you can't expect for nobody to clap at you if you clapping at them. Okay, here she come, y'all.
Yeah, can I be heard?
Kewana,
Hey, how you doing, Shank? Can I be heard?
yes, speak your
Okay.
piece.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this.
But let me say this first, Kewana. Let me just say this. Just don't disrespect Miss Parker. Don't disrespect none of the content creators that's up here.
Yeah, I didn't plan to come and disrespect anyone. I plan to come and say my piece and speak my truth.
Okay.
And so here's the truth. If y'all go over to Miss Parker YouTube, we've been being disrespected all month long. We have been called every name under out the sun for no reason exactly other than hearsay. Now there's talk about, well, Roxy said this and Roxy said that. That's hearsay. If you don't get it straight from
Miss Parker, I double dog dare you to try to quit. No, you don't quit. I understand it though, because I took a 3-week sabbatical from this shit too. I get it. Your job extend. You just was out stumping for another baby yesterday. Your job is beyond just one case. Hell no. We wouldn't even let you quit. We'll be riding. The riders will be, man, girl, stop. You better go and take you a shot and bring your ass and get your ass back on that live.
from the source. If you don't hear straight from us and saying, Kewana, were you at the party? You would have been told no. The conversation that I had with Shannon was simply because Janelle called CPS on her about the party. I knew nothing about SA, Jarvis, or anything.
No. And let me be real with you, Miss Parker. You didn't lose sight of anything. You did exactly what you were supposed to do. You know what I mean? You were reporting the stories that people wanted to hear. There's nothing wrong with that. You didn't lose sight of anything. You dig what I mean? What your journey is gonna be always different. Everybody's journey is gonna be individualized. Don't never take away from none of the hard work you did. You ain't did nothing. You ain't lose sight of nothing. Even at the same time, there's interviews, there's stories that I'm gonna do that I don't feel 100% comfortable in, but sometimes it's outside of us. You're reporting the things that people want to hear too. So no, don't look at it like that. Please don't look at it like that, because your work that you do beyond this is, come on. Nope, I ain't finna let you do no shit like that. We supporting each other. You gonna be down here soon. We got work to do. I ain't got time to be hearing that shit. Look, I'm on medication and I'm itching. Miss Parker, please don't make me cut your ass out.
Anything else when it pertains to them kids.
When I
found out,
don't make me hurt. Don't make my nerve bad today.
But instead of understanding that, and it's they didn't do this and then they didn't do that and they didn't do that. I can't tell y'all every detail. I can't tell y'all everything we did. Yes, we did go back and forth with Shannon, Marquita, and Nick. Yes, we absolutely did. I did not just say in the comments that I was threatened to be jailed. Who do y'all think called the police? Vari was being protected by us. And they called the police to say Kewana and Janelle. And so Marquita called my phone to disrespect me and say, oh, you need to send him home. And then they called the police to say, we got him. And the police then hopped on us. But since I'm in the city, Janelle is an hour away. Guess who house they surveillance to assure that, oh, if we see Vari, you going to jail. They got the call in my phone, threatening me.
See, I told y'all we gotta focus on the people that was in the house. Cause that the ones that was pushing them away. The Annettes and the Shannons and all of their ass, the thick ass ones. That's who we need to be on, y'all.
That's because they gave them my number.
I mean, at least on them too. I gotta wait and see. By the end of the video, we might be on a lot of them. But so far, I know for a fact Annette and Shannon. You know what I mean? Marquita was partial, but let's keep going.
So it's all this talk about, well, what you should have did and you should have did that. I'm a mother first. Okay? And that doesn't say I didn't fight for the children to get custody of them, but that's
I start cussing you now.
It's almost like it's being said, throw your kids out there. Let your kids go to custody and fight for everybody else's kids. It's not my fault what the adults did not adopt for their children. And I want to be honest here. Before the kids went to Annette, guess who asked to get the children? We were back and forth with Lady about no, let us get the plan was from the jump. One of us was gonna get the kids. Lady chose her mother. See, that's what y'all don't know. Everybody's spinning narratives, saying what they want to say, but then when we say something that's disrespectful, how about how we feel? Everybody get to say anything that they want to say, but then when we speak out and say what we want to say, it's oh, Kewana a problem. Kewana been quiet. Kewana was minding her business, not bothering nobody, doing what she needed to do before anybody knew when it came to the kids. Oh, now it's, oh, you only made one for CPS report. I beg to differ. We made multiple CPS reports that y'all haven't even seen. They won't even come off. That is the reason why we did the media news report about when we found out about what the police did. That was in real time. We were there to talk about CPS and so on. That was in real time. We didn't know none of this was going on. So my problem I have with this is everybody get to be selfish and come for me or Janelle, however y'all want to call it, when we're the actual loved ones that stepped out here. Now it's what Roxy did. I didn't take any credit from Roxy about the things that she tried to do. Roxy took credit from us. So with y'all getting videos that was last year, there were a whole bunch of videos that she had to take down where she started to mess with us. What she called the mess is us simply being asked a question on Community Advocate Network, and that question was, do we agree with the GoFundMe? We have never, it was never something that I sat back and said, oh, I agree with the GoFundMe. I spoke my truth, and so did Janelle. We were not in agreement with the GoFundMe. All them videos y'all playing is the aftermath. Okay? Before that, we were already being chewed out on the internet for no reason. That video y'all see with Mark D. Kenya and Roxy, me and Janelle, that went on for a whole year.
I call you, goddamn.
All that mess went on for a long time before when we came to Community Advocate Network. That was a year later, after we had already faced a cyber bullying and slander. Meanwhile we mourning for a child that we put. And let me say this. Nobody is saying, oh, we did this, oh, we did that. Maybe I'm wording it wrong, but what I'm saying is the point of us putting it out and wanting it in the media because we were not going to let them get away with saying she ran away. Okay? They were saying she ran away, and I'm talking about Annette, Marquita, and Shannon. We're saying to the police, she's a runaway. That is why Janelle went to Mark D. That is why we did a clip on the news. And anytime y'all seen us on the news, we were solely speaking about the kids. Our conversation didn't go left until everybody else's conversation went left. We were going to keep it on Community Advocate Network, and that was the end of it. SD wanted us to come on to her panel. And we told her then, SD, we really not trying to do this because we don't want to appear like we keep going on everybody's panels. Our goal is to speak about these kids and see who can stand with us and see one stand for all. We all stand with each other. And she said, well, this is what it's not. We're not going to make it messy. This is what it's going to be. And it took off from there. Once we went on there, then they came back with something to say. All y'all got to do is go look. They were going crazy on social media.
TT.
That's how the back and forth started. This went on over a year before we said anything. So now we go on SD platform after we told her, listen, this is not what we're trying to do. And these are the reasons why. But since you have been writing for us and we respect you, this is what we're going to do. Okay?
I still don't figure out why that girl hated me. How you just gonna go and tell them folks don't do no interview with me? First of all, I didn't even reach out for one. You know what I mean? Because I was, I know they had court and shit. And really, it wasn't nothing. I need to talk to the ones that was near the house. Shit, so everything, because I ain't really mind. But you still ain't had no, I ain't did nothing to you. The fuck?
So the hurt wasn't that, oh, we went and told her all our business. No, the hurt was we told you before we came on that this is not what we were trying to do. And then when she went to throw and say all the things that she said,
Boy, when Shank Rock said that, it gave me chills. Cause dead ass, where's the men? It ain't not one man saying nothing on soul. Shit, Shank is the only. He do more talking for the family than anybody else. That's a fact. And it's Man Month too. Shout out to all the fathers. You know what I mean? Y'all celebrate the men's like y'all do the month of May for the women. Now, it's some good men out here. Y'all make sure y'all drop that for these dudes. But yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
my only thing was you could have called us. You talk to us regularly. I have no problem saying what it is and what it wasn't. But you're not gonna paint me out to be the bad guy and we're gonna sit another year and let everybody just spin what they want to spin. We did that. And you know where that got us? We did that. We were dogged out all year long. See, y'all missing a whole lot of stuff. And the people that know, that's been there from the beginning of time. I'm talking about over a year ago when this first happened, when all the videos first start dropping. And Mocha, that was not my post. And see what I'm saying? How quick something can spin off? I'm not the one that made a post. I didn't have the social media. That was Kenya post. That was a back and forth with Kenya, Marquita, and Shannon. Kewana had nothing to do with Facebook. Nothing to do with a post. The only thing Kewana had to do with was when and then just like again, I know I keep jumping, but it's a lot I want to clear. I just saw Miss Parker saying, well, Kewana and Janelle was on the phone talking and gossiping about this child, saying hello. Girl, let me tell you about the net. All these kids being molested. How was that fair? That wasn't the conversation. The conversation was, I miss the kids. We're at war with the household. I just needed somebody to talk to. This was who I consider my older cousin. She's a part of the family. Why can't I have this conversation with her? I was already doing it. It ain't like, hey, what do you think I should do? We were already doing this stuff. We were already making multiple CPS reports that y'all have yet to see. Y'all see 5. There's many more in other counties. We were already doing it. So I didn't call.
I'm sorry, but it was funny as hell how she said there's many more. You know she got more if she said it like that. But hold on, let me keep going. I don't know why that's true, but
The conversation was, I miss the kids. We're at war with the household. I just needed somebody to talk to. This was who I consider my older cousin. She's a part of the family. Why can't I have this conversation with her? I was already doing it. It ain't like, hey, what do you think I should do? We were already doing this stuff. We were already making multiple CPS reports that y'all have yet to see. Y'all see 5. There's many more in other counties. We were already doing it. So I didn't call to say, help me, help me. I simply needed to talk to her as an older
yo, man,
cousin.
Kewana
We were already
unhinged,
having
boy.
conversations.
Woo!
What she decided to do after is call Annette and call the mother of the little girl, and boom, she got her clarity to see that what is everything I said was actual and factual. And then Marquita and Shannon came for her on Facebook because they did not appreciate her calling their mama, asking anything. And then Kenya put the post up. That was not Kewana.
If you don't mind me
So
asking, when was the first time y'all reported to CPS?
the first report that I made was in 2022 when I found out about Jarvis and I found out he was touching any kids.
Exactly. So that's what we're saying. Now in my video, I never said you. I'm going by what Janelle said, that the first time that they reported to CPS was 2022. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to see. Even though he's been around since 2009, and even though she found out, I think it was like 2013, 2020, yeah, 2013, that he was a offender. Nothing happened all the way between that time, all the way until 2022 was the first time CPS ever got reported. So we're not dispelling that y'all didn't do what y'all saying y'all did, and how many. Yeah, y'all probably did it multiple times after that. But what I'm trying to get people to see is before that. You get what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody coming on.
Here's the thing, and I'm just gonna be real. Y'all know I'm gonna give you real commentary. All right. I understand what a person is saying, but see, I have my family, right? My brother got his, my other brother got his, my sister got hers. All right. Let's just peep this. In this particular case, this is not even siblings. This is cousins. All right. Now, you find out your cousin is dating a dude. All right. You find out. Cool. Still ain't really got nothing to do with your household. Let's just be real. All right. So now you find like this dude was an offender. All right. Now, there's a lot of people that's in these comments right now that has been around an offender. Probably didn't even know it, but has. Here's the thing. These type of questions, they seem relevant now, more so versus then. There wasn't no alarm bells at the time. So even though Shannon said, Shannon probably went to her cousin, look, I'm dating this nigga named Jarvis. Yo, he on a registry. However, he was 17, the girl was such and such. You know how niggas do it. So they downplayed it. He wasn't a threat at the point. Now you got to fast forward some years later, okay? Now something has happened with the child. Now all of those alarm bells are going to start ringing louder. I'm only saying this. I'm only saying this is because I want people sometimes to be privy to facts. See, it's easy for us to play hero when we're able to dissect the situation, not in real time, but after the fact. It's a lot of things that we could say we doing. My brother have a female, right? I know her name, but I don't know her. I don't know her like that. Not know her enough to where anything would be alarming until my nephew was getting thrown against the wall or some shit. Now I want to know her background. You see what I'm trying to say? So there's sometimes things, I get it. We want to know from 2013 or from 2009, why wasn't nothing being said? Nothing was being said because nothing was happening out loud. There was not enough alarm bells to go off from anybody, especially, now we're talking about cousins. We're not talking about a family member who you're going to probably talk to every day. We're talking about cousins who probably talk about every weekend or every other day. So you got to look at all of these scenarios. Now, I still kind of stand on my position a little bit. I still feel like at this particular time, I think that Kewana and Janelle has done everything that they could do in the eyes of the law. My gripe right now is more with CPS and the guardian of Naziah. Because after alarm bells was rang, now let's also talk about it too. Somebody else had to notify the state that Jarvis wasn't even on CODIS. Let's start there. So we're looking at a system that was flawed. So even before a certain period of time, even if they would have done their due diligence on Jarvis, certain shit still wouldn't have popped up. Because it wasn't until he had to register again to after being shown that he wasn't registered to where he was registered. You feel what I'm saying? So I just think that we got to always look at all of the spectrums. We are emotional about this case. We are. But part of being able to see the facts thoroughly is being to where you're not moved or motivated by no member. So you can see things clearly. You feel me? And this particular time, there was only so much that I feel like Janelle and Kewana could have done, even knowing that he was an offender. That's just my personal opinion on it right this second. You feel what I mean? We still got some video left. It could be determined. Let's finish watching.
I'm here to attack you, to attack none of y'all. I'm just putting out what I'm hearing being said.
So let me address that. Janelle said that she knew or whatever as far as before 2022, and when she found out, she said what she did. Janelle can speak for herself, but I'm sure that everybody has heard her say multiple times that she called to make sure that they knew that he was a pedophile and around the kids and whatever and everything that she did. And they told her it was nothing that they can do because whatever their reason was. She also reported in 2022. Janelle was reporting in 2022 too.
Exactly.
Janelle reported in 2022 after she found out about the party. The party didn't happen years ago. The party happened in 2022. See that all that party y'all got, that's not the party.
It's not. She's
That's
right
not
on
the
that.
party.
But
She's right on that.
Kenya's first post is January of 2022.
Kenya's
It's not February. It's not March. It's January of 2022. I got the post.
And Kenya post happened after the party.
But
And
she
it
said
wasn't.
that you. But so that happened in 2021. Then correct?
No, the party didn't happen in 2021.
There were
I don't
multiple
know that.
parties.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know the exact date of the party. I didn't know about the
One party
party.
was at Shannon's. One party was at
Shannon's
Shannon's
house
in Clinton Township, and the
Clinton
next party was at a next.
No, the party where children were touched is that we were talking about as far as the CPS reports was the party that happened in Shannon House. That's the party
It
in
was.
question.
It was.
That's the party that the
Yep.
three little girls, Naziah,
She right. She right on
my
that.
other little cousin, and the other little cousin. They were at Shannon House, and they were in her house when that happened. And when I found out about it, I was dropping clothing off for the kids. And Shannon said, "Guess what Janelle did to me?" I hadn't talked to Janelle in a minute. We had fell off from from talking for a little bit, and that's that. And I said, when Shannon told me, "Guess what Janelle did to me?" I stopped her in her tracks to say, "Well, Shannon, that don't make sense because." First and foremost, why would children lie about something like that? And why would she then go on to make CPS reports for no reason? It don't make sense. I was cut off in 2022. Once Shannon felt like I sided with Janelle, that was the it for me. We were not seeing any children, me or Janelle. I was getting calls from the kids on my phone, but we wasn't visually seeing children. We were cut off. We were considered ops.
So when did you first meet Jarvis?
I never actually met Jarvis. When I seen my first time seeing Jarvis, him and Shannon was having a fight outside. And I came out to defend Shannon and saying, "You not finna put your hands on her." They were going back and forth, and him and Shannon, they both was acting crazy. He was talking stuff to her. He was getting loud with her. She was getting loud with him, and it was arguing about some females. And I said, "Shannon, you got bigger fish to fry, and your kids is gonna see this."
Yeah,
And so
just send me the link to
I
the
have
phone.
never been around Jarvis, chilling with Jarvis, talking to Jarvis, none of that. Hell, I didn't even know Jarvis had a record or was an offender or anything like that until 2022. And that's not taken from Janelle because, again, when she found out, it's not like she didn't try to do something. But, God, dog, what do y'all think that we can do that? Do y'all not understand? Yeah, we leaned on the system to do their job. Absolutely. We absolutely did. Outside of leaning on the system to do their job, yes, we were back and forth with the household. I said multiple times I got threatening voicemails because this how much getting into it with the twins I did. Oh, well, you should have did this. You just taking Vari in, listen to what Vari say. Vari this and the Vari that. And I'm standing for the children. Like, no, he not gonna just lie to me.
So let me ask you this. Janelle said she knew 2019 that he was a pedo. And y'all went to the appropriate people. That's what she said. Nothing was done.
We didn't do anything because I did not know.
Okay, he wasn't on a registry or nothing like that. So being that she knew, and I'm pretty sure as she knew, eventually at some point she mentioned it to you. How is it possible to know this information, knowing that he's, a pedo, knowing that he's not on a registration, but yet he's in Annette's home, in Shannon's home, amongst all these children, and these children are in harm's way, and it's like, because the system did nothing, y'all just left it at that, and y'all did nothing.
Now, see, this is where I have a little problem. Just gonna be honest. This wasn't a source to ask the questions to. Because here's the thing. Shannon knew what Jarvis was right away, which means her mother did. We all know that Annette co-directs, produces, and writes everything in Shannon's life. Let's be honest, okay? So my thing is, knowing what he was, why would you let your children and grandchildren around that? See, the problem that I'm having, that I'm upset about, is because we are expecting outsiders kind of to know more than the inside house. And just from my personal perspective, even if Shannon was transparent to Kewana and Janelle and said, hey, yo, he was on the registry, but it was when he was 17 years old. A lot of times the outside family is not. Let me ask you a question. Let's just look at it. Drop down right now in the comments. Let's just do a thing, because you know I like to do social experiments. Drop down in the comments right now. Your cousin's boyfriend. Do you know about him? Do you know everything about him? Your cousin's boyfriend. Do you know what your cousin's boyfriend do you know what he is right now? Because I'm trying to understand it from their point of view. Now, I have a lot of cousins. I have cousins that I talk to randomly, right? But I don't have cousins that I talk to on a day-to-day to where I'm able to say, what this nigga on? You feel what I'm saying? I'm trying to put myself, because I'm open-minded. And when I do these cases, I try to look at it from everybody's perspective. Now we're Janelle and Kewana. Now we got to factor in everything. So, hey, we have our own families. We got our own jobs. Let's close our eyes. Let's go through this now. We got our own families. We got our own jobs. All right. We got the day-to-day functions of what the fuck we got going on. All right. We got these kids. We got these bills. It's a cycle. Now I want you to think about that cycle you do every day. And I want to ask you the honest God truth. Tell me the honest God truth. Do you know your cousin's man? Okay. Now, I'm gonna go a little deeper. I know some cousins that's on that shit. You know what I mean? They smoke that shit. Just being honest, okay? They smoke that shit. I love them with all my heart. But they smoke that. It's just certain things that I'm not in tune with. Now, what I'm asking this because in most families or cultures, we can know who the demon is and really not say nothing. All right. The fact that once they did find out, they did report it based on a little bit of knowledge that they know. I just don't know if I can crucify them. Like, I'm really trying, y'all. I swear to God. I'm just trying to put myself in everybody's shoes to get everybody's perspective as much that I know. Now, let's also keep in mind. Now, there was a video. We seen it at Annette house. It was somebody's birthday party. And Annette came over there. She flew across the room on Jarvis' ass and was like, hey, you ain't going to be just blowing in and out. You ain't going to just be coming in and out the house. You know, you're going to be such and such. So we see right then and there that Annette was full of shit on the stand. You know what I mean? When she said the nigga never was on the house. We found that lie. And if he was never there and she's trying to say, why the hell you just blowing in the house like that? I'm trying to understand how some outside family members would have been able to be privy to as much shit as the people that was inside. That's all I'm trying to understand, y'all. I get it. You felt like there was more that they could have did. I get it. I can understand the emotion behind that. But see, this is the thing. When I go into the CPS, when I get off of this, before we get into code, y'all said react to code, peace. When I get off this, we're gonna go to the CPS, the file. It's in my Naziah. You can go. It don't even matter. Go to the playlist. My Naziah Harris playlist. I think it's 56 videos in there. Go to the one about CPS, and I want you to pull it up, blow it up real big, and I want you to see that Naziah Harris herself says she was being hurt by Jarvis. Not only Naziah, but it was another little girl as well. Please go look at it. I can't make this type of shit up. Now, 2022 is when they reported this. All right? It was documented that it was threats. Naziah herself wrote a statement. If CPS signed off on that baby to be returned back home, okay, and to sign off on it as it being a low risk threat, I'm really asking y'all with my whole heart, and I want y'all to enlighten me. I'm not throwing daggers or nothing. I want you to tell me what else could they have done? Because listen, I have 5 kids right now that I'm helping, and CPS is involved. I want to know what is the next step that they could do from outside. Because see, I can go back to Annette's video, right? I got it broken down when she was the preliminary hearing. I think me and the team was able to point out 19 times she lied on the stand. 19. Now, here's my problem. The 19 lies that she told was in regards to Naziah and where she's at. So her being a liar gonna hit me a little bit harder. Hear me out. Let's blow the picture up at Disney World in HD, 4K. And even if Janelle did lie about Jarvis being in that picture, you see where I'm going? I get it. They lied. The people who she stayed with lied. Everybody in this whole case has lied. From Frank all the way down to Vari. There has not been one person that has told the 100% truth in this family, according to the masses, allegedly. Okay? So now what we got to do is, we know the whole family is liars, allegedly. So now we got to go to one that is telling the lies where it matters the most. When I do a process of elimination in that shit, it always goes back to Shannon, Annette, and the household. I hear everybody. I swear to God. I just want to find that baby. You know what I mean? So that's just where it's at right now. That's where I'm at. You know what I mean? I love this information because I mean they are hanging themselves, but I'm still gonna ask the questions that I need to know. Shit, I got a brain too.
So let me respond to that. First and foremost, Janelle, I didn't know anything about. I keep saying I did not know anything about Jarvis being SO until 2022. And that ain't something that I gotta lie about or Janelle gotta lie about. We didn't have that conversation. I didn't know about. I don't have to lie and say, oh, I knew. If I knew, I would just say I knew. I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
And when she found out, she said exactly what she did. I'm not gonna speak for Janelle because she can speak for herself. But what I am saying is, I did not know. You just made an assumption, Mocha, saying, "Well, I'm sure she told you." I'm telling you from my mouth that what
Okay.
I found out was in 2022, so we don't have to cross that line again.
And I have to respect that. You said you didn't know. I'm gonna respect that. That's the least I could do is respect that. Because I'm repeating to you what I heard Janelle say. And I just thought y'all were in it together. I just was under the assumption that you knew as much as she knew.
We were in it together starting from 2022. That's why I keep saying Janelle was already making calls and back and forth about this because she was in 2022. She was already in a back and forth with them. She had already called CPS. I found out when I went to drop the clothing off, and Shannon said, "Guess what Janelle did to me?" Let me tell you about Janelle. I hadn't talked to Janelle.
I ask a question? So
Let
I
me
want to
take,
ask. Oh,
hold
okay, go
tight for
ahead.
1 second.
I'm
Let me
sorry.
take this question from the chat. Britt says, so where are the kids? You said the lady lied to y'all.
No, what I said was the person that's been giving us the information as far as where the children about their well-being, she's the same person that came on SD Live. Her name, we're gonna call, as he said, we're gonna call her Tony. She
Mm-hmm.
lives on the street. We call and check in with her all the time as far as, have you seen the children? Are the children clean? This and that and the other. Are they safe? We can't see the children. They're not going to allow us to see the children. And she has told us yes, yes, and yes. I said that I wouldn't assume she would lie to us. I would hope not. That's what I said. And I talked to her not long ago again because she got upset when she seen it. She said, I wouldn't lie to y'all about that. And I said, well, that's all I want to make certain of because I don't want to be made out to be a liar like we don't give a damn about the kids. Okay? And when we do. And she said, I don't have no reason. She was very upset. She said, I would not lie about nothing like that.
But
Now, I don't
the
know.
kids, and I get that, Kewana, but the kids are gone.
The kids are not.
The kids
I,
are gone, Kewana, for a fact. The kids are gone.
I'm going to say
And they're
this.
split, and they're not even in the same household.
Mm-mm. The children are not with CPS. I don't know what's going on. I can't tell y'all what's going on because again, if y'all think that we just have been sitting back, not trying to make phone calls, not trying to see what's going on ourselves, I want to let y'all know now that that is not true. Just like it wasn't true that we didn't try to get the key. We didn't know when she went on the live to say we weren't trying to get kids. We called us 4 times. That's not true.
Let's hear me out. So I had a phone call today from one of Jarvis's baby mama's sisters. Jarvis' baby's mama's sister. And they are in the process of helping one of his kids try to get the kids because they're split up and she don't like it. And the woman had no reason to even lie to me because that wasn't even the focus. So this is what I'm saying, like, and this is from somebody up in the courthouse up in Detroit. She don't got the kids. It's just two different people that don't talk to each other at all. That has no reason to make that up and tell a lie at all. And even Marquita said it, and Shank Rock heard Marquita say, what she say, Shank? She don't got the kids. Didn't you hear it come from
Don't got her
Marquita?
kids. Her baby daddy
No,
got her kids.
Marquita. No. Shannon.
Oh,
I
Shannon.
was on the phone with Marquita and Shannon and Dre, and Shank Rock was sitting right here with him on speaker. And Shannon don't got her kids. This is what I'm telling you.
It's true.
Thank you, Shank.
I'm just being honest. I don't know. You know, like I said, she got upset and said, I'm not a liar. I wouldn't lie to y'all. And it's been calls made after that. It's been calls made to CPS and workers to find out, listen, what is going on? Is the kids in.
Miss Parker. Miss Parker, you playing that shit. So that shit be crying every one time.
To make that up and tell a lie at all. And even Marquita said it, and Shank Rock heard Marquita say, what she say, Shank? She don't got the kids. Didn't you hear it come from
Don't got her
Marquita?
kids. Her baby daddy.
No, Marquita. No. Shannon.
Oh, Shannon.
I was on the phone with Marquita and Shannon and Dre, and Shank Rock was sitting right here with him on speaker. And Shannon don't got her kids. This is what I'm telling you.
It's true.
Thank you, Shank.
I'm just being honest. I don't know. You know, like I said, she got upset and said, I'm not a liar. I wouldn't lie to y'all. And it's been calls made after that. It's been calls made to CPS and workers to find out, listen, what is going on? Is the kids in custody? We've been very adamant.
You know a nigga got the information right when they put that at the end of that shit. She will Rick Ross on your ass. No, I'm telling.
About saying we would like to be family members to help with the kids, get the kids. That's happened. So I don't know what's going on at this point. I'm hearing this from a person that's a very close source that live on the block that see the kids, and I'm hearing something else from the internet. We don't know what's going on. All I'm telling y'all is what I've went on, and as far as checking in on the children.
Well, I'm just
She's
saying, I
been
just can't. I know you probably did, but I'm just saying, why would Marquita lie with Shannon sitting there? It was me, Shannon, and Dre, and Shank Rock's on my end. So I can't see Marquita saying with her sister right there that the kids are gone, and I'm going by what a neighbor say when Shannon's sitting there.
And Shannon didn't debunk it.
She did, and Shank Rock sitting right there, Mocha.
Right.
Let me grab this question from my chat real quick. Appreciate that cash donation, BJ. BJ says, how many kids before y'all found out about Jarvis? I guess how many kids did he inappropriate touch before y'all find out about Jarvis?
I don't know exactly how many kids have been touched. I only know what y'all know. We know about the 4-year-old and the other kids that we know about, but all this was brought about after Naziah. I didn't know none of this stuff prior to. I didn't know none of this stuff prior to.
Wait, you had to know if y'all started reporting because y'all said y'all reported
Prior to 2022. Let me be very clear when I speak. 2022. So as far when he say other kids, is he talking about outside the house, inside the home? Because as far as I know, it's been Naziah. I know what y'all know. My other little cousin, y'all heard the testimony like I did, and my other little cousin. But again, I found all this out in 2022.
And let me ask you this: when you guys were on my panel, I presented the question to you all, and that question was, okay, Shannon claimed to have been pregnant at the same time with Naziah. And I asked you all more than one time on my panel, was that baby that Shannon had, was it Naziah's baby? And Janelle responded to me, oh no, all those babies are Shannon's babies. But that's not what the court is saying.
So what is the court saying?
That's not what public records is saying. Public records is saying of the 5 children Shannon has, three of the children are definitely Jarvis Butts. Well, no, actually all 5 are Jarvis Butts. 2 of them don't belong to Shannon.
Yeah, that's not true. I don't know where this info is coming from.
That's public records.
No. That's public records. You can't say it's not true. That's in the courthouse.
No. When y'all see them DNA tests, because I seen them DNA papers too. DNA papers too. That happened after Naziah came up missing. That's about Jarvis.
No, ma'am. That's about Shannon.
No, ma'am.
That's about Shannon. Shannon went to do a paternity test after Jarvis got locked up.
That's not. Excuse me. Y'all have that all wrong. She was forced to take a DNA test.
No, she was not. No, she was not.
Wow.
No, she was not. No, she was not. She made an appointment. No, she was not. I'm gonna put those records out there. No, she was not, Shank Rock. I'm telling you.
Listen, y'all asking me and telling me because I'm telling y'all what we know so far.
But you just said y'all don't know no more than we know.
No,
you said y'all don't know nothing.
As far as her kids, those are Shannon kids. And the DNA test from when we saw all that stuff that's public record as far as DNA test, the only thing that we can think of is they wanted to prove what children were Jarvis' children or not. It had nothing to do with if the kids were Shannon's or not.
Well, why would 3 of the children come back 99.99% Jarvis, right? And then the state has the other 2 children on hold. We have to make this make sense.
See y'all that. Y'all didn't listen. I would like to see that myself because I didn't see that. I'm not even gonna sit up here.
There you go. We have to make it make sense.
I'm just gonna say, because we are in the middle of this video, we did a video about that too. You just go to the Naziah playlist, and hopefully that'll clear up everything on that end.
I ain't seen that, so I'm not.
On the paperwork, it saying that Shannon made the respondent versus the defense. However, Shannon made the appointment. It was never court. It never says court order like the other ones say court order. It said she made an appointment on the 10th. That she went and made. It definitely says she went and made the appointment on the 10th.
See, I
It
like I
never
said,
say
I ain't
nothing
seen none of
about
that.
court
I'm
order.
I'm going off of the DNA test that we seen, and the first thing I said, and we came to the assumption of, is that they must wanted to see if those kids, because we told them that Jarvis was still around, as far as that Shannon was lying and saying he wasn't around anymore. And we're like, well, all y'all got to do, she's got other kids with him. So if he was definitely around, because she's constantly having more babies. Okay. And as far as Vari, I want to make this real clear, real fast, because I keep hearing this spin. Yes, I took Vari to the hospital. Absolutely did. And matter of fact, that was the time that he ran away. Okay? I absolutely took Tavarius to the hospital. I can even say the hospital. Wasn't far from where I lived. So, did I go in the hospital? Did I ever go in the hospital and stand beside the young lady? No, but I know for a fact that Vari was going in that hospital with his baby mother because she was having the baby. Now I don't have to lie about
Kewana,
this.
did y'all ever think to ask why Vari's baby mama went missing around the same time Nasiah did?
I absolutely didn't. But what I can say from what I know is she had her own things going on at home, and I didn't know nothing about this girl running away. When I found this out is when y'all found this out. I have never sat around Vari's the mother of his baby and knew anything about this. When the internet came out and said the young lady ran away 6 months, we were in oh my too. This ain't like we knew she ran away, we knew what she was. That is not true. We've been seeing that spin as well. Like, no, not at all. We didn't know anything about that.
Wait a minute, hold tight for a minute. I gotta take these super chats. Appreciate that, Stephanie. Stephanie says, I take my hat off to y'all content creators. Y'all definitely did y'all homework for Naziah. And I got a question from Britt for you, Kewana. Britt says, have your source sent you a picture, or you just believe her from a phone call?
No, I never asked for a picture. She never sent a picture. I absolutely believed her from a phone call. Yes, I did.
Can I
Yes.
ask her a question?
Yeah, go ahead,
I just want to
Survivor.
ask you a question. I want to piggyback on something right here.
But
So I
that's not
heard ladies
saying.
say, I heard ladies say in a video that Annette had multiple CPS cases and the children were never supposed to be there in the first place. Do you have any knowledge about that?
You said what lady? You talking about lady?
Lady, Naziah's mother, she was on a video and she said that Annette had Annette had several CPS cases, and no children were supposed to be in the house under her care. Do you know if is there any truth to that? Because lady said that in the video with her face showing and everything, so it was her.
I never seen that video. I would love for somebody to send it to me. I've seen ladies speak on the Roxy video, and I ain't hear her say nothing about her mama having CPS reports.
Oh, okay. It's on I saw it on Facebook, and it was her.
Okay, I'm not saying that you lying about it. I'm just simply saying that I've never seen it. And
Okay, so I
as
just
far
wanted
as
to
her
know if there
having
was any
multiple
truth to that.
as far as her having multiple CPS reports, we spoke out about that. We spoke out about that. We absolutely did. That's what is all this 40 years of CPS stuff. You know what I'm saying? When those CPS reports came out and we found that it was reports made back then as well, we were like, oh wow. We thought we were only talking about our CPS reports. Okay, so yeah, we know that
So when I present this
now.
when I present this paperwork showing that Shannon made the appointment to the DNA, how are you gonna feel? Because you're saying you know for a
I'm
fact
gonna feel exactly how I said I was gonna feel. I just said that I've never seen it. That's honesty. Like,
Okay.
stop trying to
Okay.
make me out to be a liar, please and thank
I
you.
didn't know. I just said, how are
You
you
said,
gonna feel?
how am
I
I
didn't
gonna
say you're
feel?
lying. I never said you. See what I'm saying? I never said you was lying. I
Okay,
said
well,
y'all presenting.
if you present that paperwork to me, I don't know how I'm gonna feel. Shocked for sure. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I'm gonna try to find out what I need to find out as far as that paperwork. Cause as far as I've always known, all those kids are Shannon kids. And
And
so
another,
I
and
would have
another,
to, like,
No, I'm talking about the fact that you said that the court did it, but the court didn't do it. Shannon made an appointment, and I'm just saying for y'all, if y'all really trying to get to where y'all say y'all trying to get, I just want you to open your eyes to the fact that y'all might hear from the family this, cause y'all ain't heard none but lies. But when in fact Shannon made that appointment herself, it wasn't court ordered. You get what I'm saying? To get that DNA on the 10th.
correct.
Let me let Mocha slide in. Come on, Mocha.
Yeah, Kewana, and I just have another question, one more question, and I'm done. When y'all were on my panel,
mhm.
it was said that lady introduced Jarvis to the family, right?
Right.
That's what was said. That's not true.
Well,
That's
I
not true.
said,
And the reason I'm gonna tell you it's not true.
mhm.
Reason I'm gonna tell you it's not true. Your auntie Annette, she's a piece of work now. Jarvis's oldest daughter was in the system, and Annette was the foster parent to Jarvis's older daughter. And y'all telling me that lady introduced Jarvis to that family? No, ma'am. Annette
Well,
had dealings with Jarvis when he had his first child with that old lady.
Okay.
Because from what we found out recently, Annette was taking Naziah and Zanaya to go and meet Jarvis's daughter.
yeah,
And y'all didn't know
I don't
nothing
know.
about that?
Yeah, I know absolutely nothing about that. And let me say this, I never said that lady that was something that SD said. Kewana ain't never came on nobody panel and said
Oh,
lady
I didn't get that from
introduced.
SD. I didn't get that from SD.
Well, I'm saying that she said it. She said it in the
Oh,
comments, and I commented on your page. She came in and she said, Mocha, I was told by the family that lady introduced Jarvis to the twins or whatever she said, however she said it. And I commented and said, you was told that by who? Because we were the only ones she was talking to. And I
right. And
said,
I
I
didn't I
never
didn't I
said
didn't see
that.
that in the comments. All I know is I heard what was on the panel. What was
Yeah, that
repeated
was
on the
something,
panel.
and that was something. But I do want to say this. I came in here to address the conversation that was being had via Mocha, via Miss Parker, via Cold Piece. I didn't really come over here to be like in the interview. No disrespect, Shank,
That's
but
cool.
I'm solely saying that because it was a lot of things being said before I came over here, and I want to just be real honest right now, woman to women. It's not right when you guys are saying things that you are saying, and I've never gave you a reason to say it. If I'm upset, it's because we've been through a lot. I've been through a lot. If y'all feel some type of way about what's going on, what do you think we feel? We are actually family members. We are family members. We haven't even had time to be able to mourn or deal with the situation the way we're supposed to, because we it's been cyber after cyber. And I'm gonna say this: when I came on your panel, Mocha and Miss Parker, I came on y'all panel giving my true me. So for me to come give my true me, and then as soon as we gone, it's little stuff being said about us. That's not cool. Because you said many a times, Miss Parker, I like you, Kewana, I like you. But then as soon as you go on your show, on your YouTube, I'm getting messages. Ooh, that Miss Parker over there talking about y'all, and I come on for a minute, and you over there chewing us out. It's almost like,
If
which
I
one
get,
is it?
if I
It
see lies and misinformation from y'all, I'm gonna call it
right,
out
but
every
what's the
time.
lies? What's the lies though? Because I just cleared up the lies. You were saying what you thought to be lies. What you thought
No,
could
I'm
be
saying what
lies.
I do is homework. I do is
Right.
homework. Just like you, Greg, argue with me about Shannon having them kids when, like I just said, it came out the horse's mouth.
I'm saying, and I'm still saying, that I would need to see that because, as far as I know, being a relative is every child that Shannon had, and it ain't no relative you gonna get on a panel that's gonna say anything different. That all from what I know is I've known those to be her children. So it's almost like, what else do you expect for me to say if I've known all those children to be hers? You can't get an answer out of me that I can't give you. But what I am saying is, you have many times said, "Oh, Kewana, I rock with you. We rock with y'all." I'm like this. This is the type of person I am. I'm a Capricorn. You say you a Capricorn. One thing about Capricorns, we don't act like we like people when we don't. I don't go around and act like I like people. That was why I was upset with AV.
I'm giving my commentary how I give my commentary.
You can
That's
give
my
your commentary,
Capricorn.
how you give your commentary, but what I'm saying
So
is, upon you giving your commentary, you're saying things that's not actual and factual. Like for
I
instance,
say what comes out of your mouth, so I don't know what other way to do it.
okay, but what comes out of my nothing that you said on your panel here lately has been nothing that came out of my mouth.
I speak
It
what y'all
has not
say.
been
I
nothing
only
that
show
came
what
out of
y'all
my. It's
say.
been stuff that the internet said, but not something that came out of my mouth. 'Cause everything coming out of my mouth now, I've never turned. It's always gonna come out of my mouth because this is all I can tell you. And then I say the same to you, Mocha. We gave you enough, respected you enough to come on your panel. And before I came up here, you were like, "Oh, Kewana, it's you, it's you, it's you. You argue panel, you go on." I have not flip flop panels. It's the disrespect. Mocha spoke up because I was sitting here, Kewana, and the thing is, I sit here and I watch. I watch. And before I made a comment in regards to you, I watched the anger. Yeah, baby, the way you type, you could feel the energy. And it makes no sense. When you get done, I'm gonna let you finish because I don't want to appear that I'm cutting you off. But I have a question for you when you're done with this one. Okay, and the way you present yourself going into these chats, the anger, and the only thing I said, everything that I said, and I'm not gonna retract it, and I will not take it back. And the only thing I could say to you is if you're uncomfortable with any content creator out here and the way they deliver their content, if it bothers you in such a way, my only advice to you is to stay out of their chats, stay out of the bushes. And then that way you won't have to argue, you won't have to scream, you won't have to try to present yourself to be right, because it's all a distraction. Every single time we get to a point to as new information is coming to the forefront, it's ironic. Nobody else pulls up but you. And that's the way it's been. So let me. And I can only call it for what I see it, and then the disrespect. Like Ms. Parker just said, she give her commentary. Ms. Parker gives her commentary the way she gives it. And as a content creator, everybody has to respect that. Either you like it or you don't like it. Watch it or don't watch it. Everybody has a choice. But to disrespect her the way you do, that's not acceptable. So let me respond to that. Now, you just said that I disrespected Miss Parker. And that I was upset. If you go to Miss Parker live for about the last several lives, it has been everything but Naziah. Kewana this, Janelle that, we this, we that. She got on a bucket hat. We wear bucket hats up here. We absolutely do. Bucket hats and we got a lot of different things we wear up here in my city. And so my thing is, if we talking about Naziah, how did it become okay, we concerned with Naziah, but we want to talk about Kiwana's a whore, Janelle's a whore, they're all whores, everybody screwed Jarvis, they're screwing Jarvis. That's a
I ain't never
narrative,
said
that's a
you slept with
lie.
Jarvis, so quit lying. Quit lying on
So
me.
we can
That's your
so we can
problem.
go to your
See,
we can go
that's
to
why I do what I do to you,
so
Kewana.
listen,
You
I'm
lie too
willing to bet
much.
everybody on this
Nobody's ever
panel.
said, I never said you slept with Jarvis, so cut it out.
So it don't have to solely be slept with Jarvis, but you're saying a lot of disrespectful things.
But you just said
You're
I
saying
said
a
you
lot of
slept with
disrespectful
Jarvis.
things.
You just
So
lied.
therefore,
That's
my
why I don't
question is
rock
for you,
with
Mocha.
you.
My question is for you. Just because you have a YouTube page that gives you a right, and I'm saying you said disrespecting Ms. Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Having a YouTube page gives you the right to disrespect people, to disrespect that's considered commentary when it comes to children, right?
When you're not believed.
If you fighting for my little cousin, the little cousin that I came for to make sure that people knew
There it
about,
goes.
hey, there it go. What am I saying wrong?
But
It's
If
let
we
always
me
what
let
you
me answer your
believe.
we
question.
hold on,
Let
I'm
me
not done with what I'm saying though. We
okay, go
spoke
ahead.
out so people would know, or we never would have spoke out about it. We would have let it be hushed, and then nobody would have known because it would have been a closed case, runaway. My point is not give us flowers and candy, but if we spoke out about it, how is that equivalent to, oh, we don't want nobody talking about it? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. That was the reason why we spoke out, to make people aware this is going on. So
Never
it's
said
not
y'all didn't want
equivalent.
nobody to speak out. I never said y'all didn't want nobody to speak out about it. Never said that. It's the lies.
Let me slide
Ms.
in.
Parker, I'm not lying. You have been saying a whole lot of
I've
different
never
stuff on
told
your
nobody
panel.
y'all didn't want nobody to speak out. What
It
I
don't
said
that
is
it don't have nothing to
I
do
said
with
every time
Nasiah.
somebody want to do something good for this baby, y'all shut it down. That's what I said.
No,
If
it's not
you
about
quit
doing
lying,
good.
dog,
It's
that's
not
all
about
you
doing
do.
good. Let me
That's
say
all you
this.
do.
Let
That's
me
all
say
y'all
this.
do, dog. That's
Your
what you
thing
do.
was you was upset about something that she wasn't even upset about. You was
I could
upset
be
about
upset.
something.
Who are you to tell me what
You're
I
not
can't
the
be
one that
upset
came to
about?
me.
You can't tell me,
I was
Kewana,
at
you
my.
don't run
You're not
me.
the
I
one
can
that
talk
came
about
to
what I
me
want to talk
and asked
about.
me
Move
about
on.
doing
Next.
anything. You're
Next.
not the one that did it. If
Next.
she wasn't upset about it,
Next.
why were you?
Next. Because I was. Next.
Well, she wasn't.
Let me
Next.
slide.
So you were
Miss
making it something it didn't
Next.
need to be. So she wasn't upset about it. She
Miss
understood exactly where we were coming from.
Next.
Miss Parker and
It's not a
Kewana,
next.
let me slide in, y'all. I gotta take these.
Who she talking about? SD? Who they talking about? I'm lost on that part. Who she saying one mad about it? Who, SD or I'm lost right there on that part.
Super chat. Britt says, "Do you know Jasmine, Jarvis' daughter?"
I don't know any of Jarvis' children outside of the children that's my cousin's children.
Oh, me?
No,
All right.
not at all.
Tom Wolf says, "What about your comment if Roxy in the phone enclosed answered
What she said I wasn't mad about? Because I was mad about a lot of shit, but what? Not too.
that and say her name? Blood don't make you family."
I don't get it.
Appreciate the super stickers, Miss Erica. Appreciate the
She
super
said
stickers.
what she said. My comment about Roxy. What about my comment? I made that comment. I did because before I came on here, the conversation was what Roxy did and what we did to Roxy, and I'm like, wait a minute, y'all are missing plenty of videos. But the people that's been following this over a year ago that know from the beginning know that me and Janelle never came for Roxy or Kenya at all. In fact, we didn't say have nothing to say until a year later. Like we've been saying this the whole time.
Well, I seen most of them videos because, like I said, if you go down my page, I started working on this case a year ago. I did a video and then I stopped because it was just so much bullcrap going on.
Right. So if you seen them videos, you would know that the video that Kenya, Mark D, and Roxy did was about me, and it was about something that had nothing to do with Nasiah at all. And that kept going on.
But
And
that
we let it
video,
go on.
the video I posted today on the video I posted of Roxy on my platform, you overlooked the reason why I was posting it. That's what it is. It's
Yeah.
not about specifically the heading of that what she had wrote on the picture. None of that.
Yeah, that was a recent video. That wasn't an older video. That was a recent video, and that video was done after we did the interview with SD.
Right after y'all talked about
She
her.
felt some type of way about the video, whatever we did with SD, and then she tried to say that we leaked her information and all type of stuff, that her girlfriend was a cop and so on. And then she put up charges. Let me be clear, because everybody keep talking about these charges. You were speaking on it today, Miss Parker. I have never been convicted of a carjacking. And while everybody is talking about this charge, and since Roxy brought it out, let me say that was Lady's charge since we want to have that conversation. Okay? Witness never showed up. It was found that I was not involved. It was dismissed. There's that. I've never been convicted of a crime. But had I been, to put information out on the internet is crazy. The people saying it was expunged. No, it was not expunged.
You
It
said
was
that.
dismissed. No, I never
You
said
said
that.
you did in my chat and screenshot. You said I'm getting you. I got that expunged off my
I
record.
was responding. I said it was not expunged off my record. I said I was never charged for it. It was another commenter that said it was expunged charge. And I said, no, it wasn't expunged. I was never charged. That's what I said. It was
So,
dismissed.
so was y'all not like deliberately going around? This is a question. I'm not accusing y'all of nothing, but was y'all deliberately going around shutting down everybody that was trying to do something for Desire? Because from what I seen, that's why I played the video.
No,
That
that's not true.
that's what it.
That's not true though. It wasn't that we were shutting down what anybody wanted to do with Naziah. It was about us not wanting to. We wanted to wait on all facts because what y'all have seen is preliminary. Preliminary is not even half of evidence as far as what they have. They supposedly have stuff that we don't know they have. Okay, that they have proven him guilty or whoever and however this case is gonna go. That's what the trial is for. So we just solely want to give respect to the case and waiting for the trial to be over with before we just stamp saying goodbye.
Yeah,
That's
but
just it.
doing it to say goodbye.
That's what a memorial is. A memorial is saying goodbye.
But it didn't have to be a memorial. It didn't have to be.
And
It
we
didn't
spoke
have to be
about
a
that. And
memorial.
that's what she
You could have did
understood, and that's
anything.
why she changed the name of it.
Yeah, and not.
No, I didn't change the name of it. I just didn't do it anymore. I just, during my meet and greet, I did a tribute to the babies anyway. I didn't change the name to nothing. I didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? I didn't do nothing extra. I just did a tribute to my thing. This is where I think where we get confused. Me and her. And you know what I'm saying? This has already been down, but I'll say it again. You feel me? They had a different definition of what memorial and such is. Like this case from the beginning has been confusing. I have a mayor, I have police, I have all of these things, you know what I'm saying, of them deeming this baby deceased. Okay? It wasn't until I got on the call with her or whatever to where it could be other scenarios. All right? No, I did not like the nature of the conversation. I didn't like the direction of it at all. You feel what I'm saying? But hey, shit happens or whatever. I got my money back, you know what I mean, or whatever, and I went on by my business. I was already going to do a meet and greet in Detroit. I did a tribute because I still wanted to make sure that in some kind of way I celebrated Naziah. Now, fast forward. I get on a live, you know what I mean? And it was back and forth and stuff going on then. Honestly speaking, by that time, I was so exhausted from doing so much stuff to where I just wanted everybody to just be quiet and keep the peace. So I wash my hands because I don't got to do anything no more. You made it very clear that you didn't really want to move or you didn't want to do anything until after the facts was presented. So it was no celebrating Naziah Day. You know what I'm saying? It was none of that. So what I've been doing is I've been redirecting, you know what I'm saying, energy to some babies right now and parents right now that can use it, that needs it, that wants it. You know what I'm saying? I can understand how it can be when you haven't done social media and you get attacked. I get it. She already had the other creator in her ear saying don't fuck with me for whatever reasons. So maybe by the time we did get on the call, her shit was heightened. I never understood on the call, you know what I mean, or whatever, why she felt like she was ever disrespected because I never did. You feel what I mean? I just felt like it was a whole bunch of just irrelevant shit. But yes, I felt a certain type of way. There was just things that was said that I didn't understand. Things like, it ain't your family, why do you care? And I'm like, really? Seriously? Like I gotta be genetically tied? Or whatever. Never really had a lot of dialogue with Janelle. You feel me? On that phone call, she might have said upwards of maybe 3 sentences. Kewana, she went ham. And rightfully so, she was getting shit put in her ear that I guess whatever the fuck. But here's the thing though, it do seems like every time somebody wanted to do something to help, we got shut down in a lot of different areas, not just one. I went to a creator who was starting with this whole case first. You know what I mean? Or whatever. And I just wanted to basically spread more awareness. There was people, and I mean, there's no taking away from his work. I feel like ever since I came on covering Nasiah, I always gave my flowers to this creator, you know what I'm saying? Because he was in the trenches. So with doing so, you know what I mean? I wanted to be able to offer him another platform. You know what I mean? Just to be able to spread it out even more. But then I got caught up in a whole nother debacle with that. You feel me? But at the end of the day, we had arranged, and I think my family's on here. They can vouch for it. We had arranged a search of upwards of 300 people. Okay? We had people flying in from every fucking where. No cap. We went through the police department. All right? Now, the police department never once had told us to stand down. As a matter of fact, one police officer from the thing, now I take that back. Listen, one police officer was like, you might not want to do that. Another police officer said, hey, do it. So when we were making a decision of what to do with the search, we was in limbo still. It's even crazy as hell. Not only was there creators that was arguing, not only was there family that was arguing, but then there was also police officers who had a motherfucking problem. And all we trying to do is help find a baby. You feel me? We was going through it correctly. It wasn't going to be streamed. All phones had to be in a lockbox. We wanted to be able to we had security. We was going to have marked areas on where we searched and flagged everything. Now, I went to one family member because at this particular time, I didn't even know of Janelle and Kewana. The only person I had seen on the media was Roxy. Okay? So naturally, I reached out to the content creator that she was working with and her. Yo, we trying to help. My assistant reached out to the content creator. He said, hey, there would be no searching. Period. You know what I mean? And he pretty much spoke on the behalf of him and Roxy. We backed off. They said, Toot, do it anyway. I said, hey, man, I don't feel comfortable doing this shit without the family being present. You know what I mean? Like, ain't we all supposed to be looking together? Fast forward. We can't do that. So shit, if we can't search, that mean the inevitable will happen, right? So I just wanted to do something to celebrate this baby. Okay? I had a beautiful day planned. It was a Nasiah day. I made the mistake of calling it a memorial. From that, they thinking that I'm trying to take away from shit. You know what I mean? I sent an email to both parties. Because at this point, I ain't know what family was doing what, controlled or what. So I said, hey, I'm going to just send it to both. You feel me? It does seem like this pushback. It does feel like that. It does. The only time that I ever felt good about anything was today when Kenya happened to call the phone and said, hey, we want the help. But then it still puts you in a fucked up position because I don't even know what we looking for no more. This party is saying this party is saying that. So what I don't want to be a tail. You feel me? Like that's it. This is crazy.
Not just a content creator. It could have as a matter of fact, let me just say this. From a content creator's standpoint, right? Mm-hmm. We wouldn't be where we are today. I'm going to be perfectly clear. We would not be where we are today having this discussion with you, having this discussion with Jarnell, Roxy, King, and none of y'all. We wouldn't have this discussion with none of y'all if you all, because it starts with y'all. You all started coming out here putting all your family dirt out. Because literally, and to be totally honest, our focus was Annette, Shannon, Marquita along with Jarvis.
Facts.
Then all this others, when y'all started coming out with the what y'all could have done and what y'all didn't do and what lynch y'all went through, well, then y'all inserted yourselves.
Facts.
And when y'all inserted yourselves, that made content creators go where they went. Because you're not going to come and give part of the story.
Facts.
Because in order for us to get the justice that this baby needs, we need all the story. And if it meant going down the rabbit hole,
facts.
Shank Rock started the rabbit hole, because every time he came on, this rabbit hole gets deeper and deeper. And every time we went down the rabbit hole, a new rabbit popped up. And y'all happen to be the rabbits. So you cannot get upset with content creators. You cannot feel a certain type of way when things are coming out here. I understand it may affect your mental and you're emotional about it, but that's your family. And it's not our fault that you're a part of that mess. You are a part of that mess. So I'm not going to pick and choose which one of the weirdos I'm going to call out in that family dysfunction, because it's a whole lot of shit going on over there. And somebody knew. And I'm not going to say, well, this one knew and this one didn't know. Y'all all come from that same bloodline, and it's a tainted mess.
Yeah, well,
so we can't get mad. We cannot get mad with content creators for doing what we do, because at the end of the day, the question still remains, where is Naziah? And it became a problem for content creators because y'all started coming out here speaking on y'all personal business. Everything is me, I. What I did and what I didn't do, and nobody said shit about Naziah. And that's when content creators like my damn self became very upset and very angry.
Fucking right.
Because here I am, I don't know Naziah, but I felt it in my heart as if she was my own.
Facts.
And I felt that from looking at the way you guys moved. I was doing more in Louisiana than you all were doing in Detroit, and y'all were right there. I don't give a damn if Jesus Christ, and I love the Lord with all my heart, he could have came here and said, Mocha, stop looking. But I tell you what, Mocha would have never stopped looking.
Facts.
I don't give a damn. I'd have made all type of sacrifices. I would have kidnapped. Look, if Naziah was in trouble, me, Mocha, I would have kidnapped and took the goddamn charge.
You know what? This lady is making me so emotional right now. Shout out to Mocha, man, because like when I tell you I feel this so bad, because like I don't think none of us imagine ever seeing Naziah's flyer, right? And being this emotionally bound to a little girl, right? I don't think none of us set out to just say, let's care. I mean, let's be real. We done seen stories like this, but it was something that made us stick. Let me tell you something. I've been following this case since it first happened. I've always followed crimes of the D in my city. And when I first seen Naziah's flyer, I was on Twitch. I would be on Twitch real late at night. And I actually sent it to my chat. And I'll never forget this because Lady Beth was in a chat. And I'm like, this baby? And at one point, it was so many runaways and it was so many missing children at the time to where as soon as they would put a post up for somebody missing, they'd be found. But with Naziah, she was never found. So I would be coming on my Twitch like, man, this case is fucking me up. I'm telling my people this stuff, and it was only one person in Detroit at the time who knew what I was talking about, who was in my chat. And I feel Mocha. Because it was just something that made me stay. I have covered stories like Kanika Jenkins. I done covered so many stories, y'all. And I have never have been this emotional based off no case like this one made me just, I don't know what it is. So yeah, I get her on this. I get her frustration. Because when you talking to a family member of of a little girl you didn't grown to love. This is like our viral niece to a lot of us. You know what I mean? At this point, we just want solutions. We just want this baby to be found. We want this baby to be, even if she not found alive, we want to bring her home like she's fucking 13. You know what I mean? So when I got the whole, it ain't your family, it hurt like a motherfucker to me. And to this day, I don't get it. I swear.
That's it and that's all. But to sit there and see something and do nothing and wait on the system to fix it, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, Kewana, that y'all failed her. And I have to give it for what it is. Y'all all failed her. Regardless of what stance y'all took, y'all reported is true. I get that. And I'm going to respect y'all for reporting it. But to report it and sit it there and leave it there, y'all the problem.
So let me
now, I'm not going to sit up here. I refuse to sit up here and say that.
That's fine. You're welcome to your opinion, but am I able to respond?
Yeah, you will, just as soon as I'm done. But I refuse to sit.
James Williams, and that's absolutely correct. That's exactly where I'm at. And we will be having all of them petitions coming out. We're in the middle of doing right now. Again, shout out to Casey, because we ain't arguing. It's boots on the ground. Janiyah Rogers' case has been moved from missing to foul play. You know what I'm saying? That's coming from work, boots on the ground. And that's where we at. So James, right? You're absolutely fucking right. That's exactly what we need. We need every single last person that's on this live right now, too. Go click on the video. We just did a whole song for these babies. Y'all support Sexy Red. Y'all support all of this other dumbass shit. I bet you it's no reason in the world why Black Diamond shouldn't have 100K by Friday. But see, y'all listen to Sexy Red and shit. But these babies is missing. And I guarantee.
Sit up here and say that. I refuse to sit up here and say Kenya is the problem. Rox is the problem. I refuse to say Annette, Jarvis, Shannon, Marquita is the problem. Y'all all partied together. Y'all all parlayed together. All y'all. Because whatever y'all come out of here and say y'all didn't do and didn't know, let me tell y'all something. Y'all beautiful cousins. Them loggerhead twins. Every time y'all come out here and say what y'all didn't do and what y'all don't know, they come right back behind y'all and debunk y'all lies. Well, they were here. They know. So, okay, why would they say y'all know, but y'all keep saying that y'all don't know? So my thing is, the passion that I have for Naziah, can't nobody take that away from me.
They'll pay $1,000 to get one hug with Chris Brown, but won't go play a song for free that spread awareness for these babies that's missing in multiple states. See, y'all just know about Naziah. It's many Naziahs. It's a lot of them. You feel me? And that's what we're highlighting, these babies. It's many of them.
And I'm not gonna let y'all feelings interfere with what I gotta do. Because whether it's Naziah or a little boy down the street, that's still a child that don't have a voice. And since the family don't want to do what's right and speak up for Naziah and try to get the
James,
justice that
please,
she deserves,
let's start this
because
conversation.
believe it or not, for what y'all have done, y'all got no results. But for what all these content creators have done, we done shook trees. We got people involved that y'all never even knew was involved. We got people watching these lives that y'all could have rushed out to a long time ago. It's been 2 years now that Naziah's been gone. And what have y'all done where it could say, well, the family has gotten this XYZ result? Y'all did nothing. Nothing. So if we're going to be honest, let's be honest.
Oh, we can be real honest if I can go ahead and respond.
Go ahead on, I'm done.
So you said we put the family business out. I'm going to start with everything you just said. We didn't put.
But that's irrelevant. I don't want to talk about your family business. I want to talk about Naziah. Naziah is what matters.
Absolutely, but I should have the right to respond to what you said.
But whatever you're gonna say, Kewana, you done said that already. You done said that on everybody's panel. You keep trying to defend your family's business. Y'all keep trying to defend.
Let me slide in. Let me slide in.
Because you let me come up here, Shank Rock, so I should have the right to respond.
That's why I said let me.
Point blank period.
Let me slide in. Let her respond, Mocha. Come on.
Sure, go ahead.
She said we put the family business out. So we keep going back from everything that I just said. We did not put the family business out. And then for 1 minute is you don't want to put the family business out. The next minute is y'all put the family business out. Like, which one is it? Really? We're not the ones that this is something that started with Roxy with everything being put out. Scammy Tammy. Scammy Tammy the psychic all over TikTok took advantage of many families. Started with this having Roxy go on these searches at all these houses and blame all these people that had nothing to do with Nazaya. Scammy Tammy. She done this to a lot of families. Look her up on TikTok. It's many complaints. Okay? So that's how all the family business came out. We was coming out to defend ourselves solely after she got to saying that we had something to do with Nazaya's murder. We suspects. Y'all.
Miss Parker, you ain't did nothing wrong. What are you stopping for? That's what I'm just trying to understand. I don't think you did nothing wrong. Okay? This is what we gotta stop doing as a community, bro. And you know what? After we finish this video, we gonna take a break and then we gonna get into Cold Piece video. Let me tell you something. This is what we gotta stop doing as a community. Okay? If you quit and you one of the good ones, who gonna be on the front line and help fight for these babies? You answer me that. Look, the more you grow on this platform, Miss Parker, the more shit is gonna come out the woodworks. I swear to God. I seen it. When I got to 10K, 25K, 50K, 75K. Boy, when I hit 100K, my squad will tell you, I went through the worst day in the world on my best day. I had finally hit 100K on my other channel and was ecstatic. And on that day, the devil came to fuck with me. And I wanted to quit. Hell yeah, I wanted to quit. It feel like all the hard work and shit didn't pay off. You know what I'm saying? You do this work and you expect when you look in the comments for it to be a reflection of that. Let me explain something to you. Everybody ain't gonna get you. And it's not for them to get. You know what I mean? God has put something on your heart to have you out there fight. This Nazaya case, the thing you went down and got information for, has inspired you to be boots on the ground for another baby. Okay? This Nazaya case for me helped me with the Janayas, the Kimanis, the Londons. You understand what I'm saying? This shit right here is temporary. Don't let this type of distraction ever stop you from your purpose. Period. Now, people who can see your purpose and can see your light, they not gonna let you stop. Because if they do, they wasn't for your purpose in the first place. I'm for your purpose. I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. I'm gonna give it to you as is, as I always have and as I always will. Listen, don't let this type of shit make you backslide into what the devil wants you to do. Let me explain something to you. You feeling the way you feeling right now? Let me tell you why you feeling the way that you feel like right now. I felt it the day after I came back from Detroit. Let me tell you what you feeling right now. Because you had boots on the ground yesterday. You starting a ruckus in the eyes of these babies. You out there protesting these folks. You out here fighting the system. That's why you feeling the way you feeling. Oh, that's what he do. They like to come in and start attacking our brains and hearts. So we won't be able to be focused to fight. Nigga, please. I would cuss your ass. Bro, I would drive. Listen, I'm not far from North Carolina. I think I'm like 6 hours. I get there in 4. You feel me? You crazy as hell. Listen, turn your ears off in these comments. Turn that shit off. You need your ears to stay on the ground to the shit you fighting for. See, it's bigger than just this story. And that's what I'm trying to get people to see. The arguing on this is only a fraction of what the work we got to do. You did? Bro, you think this is going to be the tip? This is only the start of it. The more we start ruffling feathers, the more we start doing that, oh my nigga, this is practice. Take this on the chin, boo. It's going to get worse than this. Facts. Because we got a bigger job to do. And these babies is leading us. We don't give a fuck about none of this. You know what I mean? You can hear it. You could be emotional about it. You could be empathetic to it. But nigga, we got a bigger job to do. And once you realize that, this ain't shit. Now, I already, don't make, look, I already called it. I've been texting you. Listen, don't make me do this. My blood pressure is up, woman.
See all that. Okay, we spoke out on Community Network about those things. But the slander had already been done. The damage had already been done. We had been called suspects. We had been called everything under the sun only because we disagreed with things. So we didn't are the ones that went and put kids all on the internet and spoke about this, that, and other. That was not me and Janelle. And not at all. That's something that happened over there with them. Then you said that you did more in Louisiana than we did for Naziah. I beg to differ. We've been in we've been in big rooms with the big bosses at CPS, not the small fries. And matter of fact, we did that a few days before the video happened with Roxy saying that the kids were gone.
And yet, you know the same information as Mocha and Miss Parker. See what I mean? Right now, we're all emotional, and everybody is responding to defend themselves over defending. It don't matter. You feel me? So the work can be done from right where I'm at. Right where Mocha at. Right where Miss Parker at. They just presented you with information that she ain't even have in the room with the big dogs. So this is my point. You can never turn your ear off to info. Just because you're related doesn't mean you're going to be privy to more. You feel me? And that's what I want people to understand. We can get information from shit sitting right here. We don't even got to be in the rooms no more. And that's what people are trying to get you to understand sometimes, that content creators, when done correctly, and I'm not going to lie. I feel like Shank, Miss Parker, Mocha, everybody that's on this panel right now, I applaud. You know why I applaud them? Because they churning a fire that we need to keep burning all the way to past October. See, Jarvis is just part of it. God damn it. You feel me? Because after the Jarvis case is over with, we still got to keep churning. Because guess what? Since Naziah has been missing, so it's 12 more kids. You feel me? I want everybody to get out their fucking feelings. At this point, it don't matter who started what and did what the fuck ever. I'm just being real. And I'm talking more so for the families. And not just Naziah's families. Because they not the only families that's feuding. In the midst of bearing a baby. They ain't the only ones. So this is a common thing. This is a commonality in our ethnicity. To where we focus on the nonsense before the targets. You did? We gotta be the shift, man. We gotta be the change, man. All of us ain't get this shit right. We learning as we going. But the point about it is, you gotta be open-minded to learn along the goddamn way. There's things that I'm gonna take from this person. There's things I'm gonna take from this person. Because it's all a learning of things, just so we can get to the to the end. And that's getting these babies home. I'm so sick of the dick control contest about who started what. I get shout out to all creators on this motherfucker who's been keeping this story alive. I don't give a fuck if you was the first to do it or the last to do it. Long as you jumped in there. That's all that matters to me. Regardless of who did it first. Don't you guys understand that it's going to be people that's going to get information from this person? Let's be thankful that they getting it. There's a lot of people say, hey, too, I ain't goddamn know about the story until you covered it. Mark D had boots on the ground. But guess what? God said you got to start here. Pass the baton to Shank. All right, let Miss Parker get it. Toot, I need you now. You see what God is doing? Niggas is over here arguing about the wrong shit. And I'm sick of it, bro. And I just got to say it. I'm probably finna end this video in a minute. We can move on to the next one. Because listen, we still ain't getting it. Because while everybody's doing this, and I'm not talking to nobody specifically, I'm being general right now. Okay? While everybody's doing this, years is paying. Years is passing by. Bones are becoming fossilized. Ain't nobody winning here. Not the family, not the content creators. Because at the end of the day, these babies is the only ones that's paying the price. They gone. We grown and we here. Come on, man. Come on, man. Are you serious? Oh, no. Hell no. Hell no.
We were in big rooms and we got proof of that. We just ain't put it all on the internet. We got something we doing on the 29th as well. We already expressed that. We're not sitting back doing nothing. So to say that is not fair. And to say that we failed her, well, guess what? I take that. It's a lot of people that failed her.
Facts.
But guess what? The numbers don't just make up the Harris family. So we can stop that narrative.
Facts.
The black community is the highest rated community that has children that's being essayed and so on. We don't make up those numbers. Google it.
She's absolutely correct. And that's the reason for my rant right now. This is a commonality in many families, my nigga. It is not just excluded to the Harris family. It's not. That's a proven fact.
So we can stop making this just our family problem. It's bigger than our family. That's something everybody gonna have to take recognition for.
Facts.
And stop making it like this just a us thing. We just happen to be in the media.
Facts.
There's stars. We heard about the Jacksons. We done heard about the Barges. We done heard about multiple stories with multiple situations like this. It ain't starting to stop with it at. But what I want to say is, if we failed her, the community failed her, the police failed her, a lot of people failed her. But at least we tried. We didn't sit back and not what you might call we didn't try. We didn't sit back and talk from a phone either. And we didn't sit back and talk on a screen. We got out here and we went to big rooms, to Mary Lee Smith, the police chief, you name it. We did all that.
I get all of that, Kewana, but regardless of who else you're saying failed her, it starts with y'all.
Yeah, well, you know what, Mocha? It starts with her parents.
It definitely, and see, it does. See, this is what we got. I'm about to end this here. I'm about to end this video here. Let's end it here. Great video. It's definitely a discussion that needs to be had, and this is what I'm trying to explain and express to people. Everybody who's done work on this case, regardless of what the fuck they was talking about with the case, it all matters. Because we need this right here to be able to understand how to move forward with the next family. So this type of thing don't keep happening. I said and I say it again. I've said it on many videos. All right. I'm not on live a lot. I don't sit up, I don't be on live a lot. So a lot of times, if you don't see my video on the algorithm, you probably ain't gonna see it. But we've had many late night discussions the same way, just like this. I promise you. And it's nothing wrong with the comments. It's nothing wrong with the conversations. It's about what we learning from these conversations, people. That's all I'm saying. There is nothing wrong with none of this. But here's the thing. We can't let me tell you what happens. I don't want us to build a certain type of wall to where there's no productivity at all being had. All right? All of us are responsible. All of us play a part. Because we're in a culture now to where I'm just going to mind my business and drink my water. It's now a motto. And it's been adapted. It's fucked up, but it's the truth. We ignore certain things. We do. Certain things aren't highlighted until it get bad. Let's just be real, okay? I'm not saying nobody shouldn't feel the way that they feel, because I can't tell somebody to feel like me. Like I can't tell somebody to feel like Mocha. I can't tell nobody to feel like Miss Park. Everybody gonna have their own individual feelings, and it's nothing wrong with that. Okay? I want to make that very, very clear. This is not a wrong or right situation. This is how do we get on the same page to where we're more productive in what we need to be productive at. You feel me? That's what it's about. Right now, if you really want to be technical, we all could be labeled as feeling this baby. Because sometimes we do get caught up in this. I've done it. Everybody has. Lord knows I didn't have my nights when I have cussed niggas out. Okay? That's not the issue. The issue is about being able to say, hey, we got a bigger problem than just one little girl. What do we got to do to fix this? That's it. We got to stop with this blame game shit, y'all. We really do, y'all. It's getting us absolutely nowhere, y'all. I get it. Do I wish once they found out what Jarvis was in 2022, do I wish they would ignore CPS, said fuck their families, bust up in the house and stole them folks? Yes, I do. But that's unrealistic. That's unrealistic. Okay? They said something. 2022. It sparked something. They passed the baton to Roxy without even knowing they was doing it. Some kind of way, nigga, it sparked enough to where we all became interested in this story. We can't take this interest, right? And now use it in the wrong light. Let's just get together and come up with a solution, y'all. That's it. That's it. That's it. Thank you. Let's not perpetuate more black trauma. No, what James is saying is spot on. The way for us to heal black trauma is we got to do better at how we correct it. We do. We do. This is and let me break this shit down. This is not about who's on this panel. This is a big problem. This panel right here is just sparking the discussion that we need to have to fix it. It's beauty in this shit. If we looking at it logically. I've listened to everybody on this panel during this thing here. I have. And I have gathered takeaways from everybody. I have. What I've also noticed is that everybody on this panel is a force to be motherfucking reckoned with. Facts. You put all of these people together, it's like Mighty Morphin fucking Power Rangers. Now we got to put that power together and we got to say, okay, now look, what's the plan? What we doing? Let's get everybody on the same accord. Let's get every content creator on board so everybody can go back and report to their camps. Shank Rock can report to his, the riders, Miss Parker with the riders, me with Dripset, Mocha with her family, Chaotic. You see what I'm saying? We got to start using the power logically, people. We as content creators, Shank, Miss Parker, Mocha, me, we can start our own fucking rally right now. All we got to do is pick a state to go to. Let's go. Boots on the ground. That's what we do. What city we going to next? Let's start a fucking world tour. That's what we got to do. That's what we were hoping to do with this song. See, we doing this very, very touching video. Hopefully it's going to make y'all so sad and hurt, but aware at the same time of what's going on. Because we want this shit to spark niggas' minds to be saying, hey, you seen this shit? That's the first spark that we need to start going ahead and start. Hey, look. CPS Detroit. We on the steps with it. We need everybody here the 29th for such and such. It's something going on with Miss Parker right now in North Carolina. Hey, August 14th, nigga, we in North Carolina at the same steps. Guess what happens? These content creators, they blacking out. Yeah, that's the noise we want to make. Let's make it. God damn it. Look, for real. Everybody, let's make it. Everybody's doing amazing jobs. Everybody. I don't want this to be taken away from nobody. The same way I'm talking to y'all, somebody came and sat my ass down and said the same shit. Toot, stop flipping the fuck out. Toot, stop doing it. Hey, I had to goddamn say, all right, what? And listen. I'm paying it forward to all these beautiful people that's covering the story so we could start working harder and smarter without this shit. Bro. And it's not saying that this shit is bad. No, we need to know it. Yeah, it's important. But should it be first? I don't know about that. You know what I mean? So, hey, look. We got to get active. That's all. We got people, we doing it now. Shank and Miss Parker was just in North Carolina. You feel me? I was just in Detroit. You know what I mean? Mocha down in her city working hard. You feel me? We already doing it. Now we just got to develop the plan to make that work. Catapult. Don't nobody hate Miss Parker. They not supporting that though, too. We just focus on going against each other and I'm over it. You know what? You can't be over it. How we gonna fix it? You know what I mean? Who else gonna yell with me? My voice go out fast. You know what I mean? Look, stop that shit. Your estrogen high too. Mine is too. You know what I mean? My estrogen level is high. I'm emotional. Stop that shit. I'm trying so hard not to drink and it's right there. Don't make me drink, Miss Parker. You trying to make me drink. Now, we finna get into this next video. This bitch was about 4 hours.